Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 12. This is the finale of Tides of Wildemount. It is our official Wildemount campaign. I just want to go through some quick announcements before we get into the final episode. There's lots to go through tonight. We're very, very excited to bring an epic finale to this season of Tides of Wildemount and then jump into the mists in the next couple of weeks, which we'll tell you about more in a little bit. First of all, I want to thank Dungeons & Dragons, of course, for this incredible game that we play on a regular basis. If it wasn't for them creating this game, we wouldn't be here, so we want to thank them. They're also hosting us this evening on the D&D Twitch. First of all, I want to thank our first main title sponsor, and that is Hero Forge. Hero Forge is an incredible mini creator tool online that you can actually customize your own minis. All of the player character minis on the table currently are Hero Forge minis, and they are across both of our campaigns. You can head to heroforge.com to check out this incredible tool and make your own characters for your home game. They will send you either STLs or full 3D printed minis that you can paint at your leisure, as well as full color miniatures as well. They offer as of the last Kickstarter, which did incredibly well. Also want to thank Syrinscape. Syrinscape is our other main title sponsor. They have an incredible online sound creator tool that will add ambience and sound effects to your D&D and tabletop games. Really awesome tool. We use it for all of the ambience. In fact, the music that you hear right now is using Syrinscape, as well as all of the music that we use throughout the session. Fireball. Just like that. Also want to thank our product sponsors, WizKids for a lot of the minis that we use, Dwarven Forge for some of the terrain that we're using tonight. Mithril Armory is an incredible company run by Dave and Joel from our cast. I just realized we don't have that animation, but I promise we'll have it for next season. I'm sorry. I loaded it and we didn't get it going because we couldn't. I apologize for that. Anyways, what's that? Yeah, it's somewhere. Anyways, Julian's going to try and get it in. We'll get it in the break. I apologize for that. But they are sponsoring our Natural 20 rolls all evening. As well, they have their Stoneheart Kickstarter starting soon. Ah, there it is! Awesome. Thank you, Julian, for doing that. There you go. It's in. It's big, but it's in. So that is for Natural 20 rolls tonight, as well as their Stoneheart Kickstarter, which will be launching soon. They are jewelry-esque D20s. They're incredible. You can check them out at stoneheart.ca, and those guys can let you know a little later when that is launching. I want to thank Beetle and Grims for the incredible giveaway. We're actually doing a giveaway currently for our community, our Discord community, and on the premiere of Into the Mist, which is occurring March 15th, we will be oh, there it is again. Thank you, Julian. We are giving away a Legendary Edition Curse of Strahd box to our Discord community. In order to become a part of a Discord community, you just have to head to our Patreon page and become a patron. And then as part of our Discord community, you will be entered into the giveaway for that box. All the information is on our Patreon, which the link will be in the chat. Want to thank D&D Beyond for powering everything we do at RealmSmith. Tonight, we are going to be giving away a pre-order code for Van Richten's guide that will be coming out. It's a Ravenloft guide. It's an incredible thing. There's a bunch of awesome stuff that they're releasing, and we're going to be incorporating a lot of that into our next season of Into the Mist. And we're very excited to see that and dig our hands into it as soon as we get our copy. But the code tonight, the keyword is Ravenloft. All one word, RAVENLOFT. Enter that in the chat. More than once, you'll be disqualified, and you'll get a chance to win a pre-order of Van Richten's guide, which is awesome. Our official charity of this season is the Crit Roll Foundation, or the Critical Role Foundation. You can find all the information for that at critroll.com/foundation. Go there and make your presence known by giving to incredible charities that the Critical Role folks support. Our Discord is doing a changeover after the season. We're going back to Barovia. The new character creation guide for the next season of Into the Mist will be released tomorrow, just ahead of Behind the Screen, and then during Behind the Screen, we will be basically going through it and talking about how it's changed, the revisions we've made, and the changes we've made to that document. So tune in tomorrow night for Behind the Screen at 8 p.m. Eastern here on Twitch, and we will be going through that, as well as answering questions regarding the finale and this season of Tides of Wildemount that is coming to a close. Again, in order to roleplay on our server, we're no longer using Twitch subscriptions to do that. You have to become a patron. You can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/RealmSmith. We should get that on the screen at some point next season. And there's a ton of different levels with a ton of cool rewards, as well as merch rewards and things. So check that out. We have merch. This is my Gaziel shirt that I currently have on to mark the ending of Tides of Wildemount. And we have a bunch of Into the Mist merch that we just released, as well as a new Revelry hoodie. It's a zip-up front hoodie with the RealmSmith logo and the Revelry on the back. So you can check that out as well. And that link is below the video here in one of the widgets under the Twitch window. Tomorrow night, like I said, Behind the Screen, tune in for more information on the character creation guide in our Patreon. Thursday, Player's Table with Joel Auge. He'll, I'm sure, go through a lot of the hijinks from tonight and all of the fun that we are having. And if you like what you've seen here, follow us on Twitch. And if you're watching it VOD afterwards, or if you folks want to see all the other awesome stuff that we have, the content we have tons of it on our YouTube page. If you go to youtube.com/RealmSmith and then subscribe and hit the little bell icon, you will be notified. We will be making a switch to YouTube for the next season of Into the Mist. It will not be live on Twitch so much anymore. We are doing all our live giveaways and everything on YouTube. So you're going to want to go over there. You're going to want to subscribe, and you want to hit that bell icon so that you can watch Into the Mist in all its glory weekly. All right, folks, this is the last episode of the season. We're so excited. Without further ado, the finale of Tides of Wildemount. All right. Hello.
Here's our character showing up. You guys, for people at home, they don't get, or people in chat, they don't get to hear us singing just a weird version of the intro to ourselves.
Every time. It'll be on the DVD commentary.
We should release it as like a behind the scenes feature. That'd be hilarious.
Yes.
I'm sad to see season 2 of Tides of Wildemount come to a close, but I'm very excited to venture into the mists. It's going to be a blast. But last we left your party, you were in the clutches of the revelry, as heroically Elisede allowed Plunk to fly for the first time last time back to the Wave Chaser, heroically escaping, Gaziel jumping on the back of Ynil as a giant shark, and arriving back on the Wave Chaser. The Dead Man's Plank backed off and turning kind of broadsided towards the Wave Chaser with its cannons aimed. With seemingly all hope lost, Plunk took out his scroll of teleportation, and Bacalhau was successful in his casting of it, allowing all of the crew of the Wave Chaser to escape, narrowly escape, except for 3 Earrings, who wouldn't leave her ship. You found yourselves in a building called the Lavish Chateau in Nicodranus, on the other side of the rip in time and space through this teleportation circle spell. You, through some time, started to explore the premises, found that it was a very lavish, very opulent place, and you found yourselves in the Opal Archways, a section of the city of Nicodranus that is kind of set apart from the rest of it. It's set for the rich and for the well-to-do. Plunk and Cyra attempted to leave the room as Plunk was trying to find his connection or his contact for leaving Nicodranus and getting through the gate, but was kind of caught in the process and had to flee, again, narrowly escaping the Zalezo guards that were stationed within the Lavish Chateau. Bacalhau and Gaziel did a little bit of investigating themselves, and found that there is one room within this Lavish Chateau that was different than the rest. Seeing a kind of drunken, misshapen gentleman kind of walk out of the room, they saw a red-skinned hand close the door behind him. Gaziel then turned to the side, saw a smaller door off to the right with a J kind of carved just above the handle. Plunkrawk and Cyra, arm in arm, kind of waltzed casually down the street away from the Zalezo guard. And that is where we find everyone. Snow and Bolt, you are sleeping, as is the rest of the crew of the Wave Chaser, quite tired and trying to recover from an otherwise eventful day before. All right. Gaziel and Bacalhau, we'll start with you guys. You are currently in the Lavish Chateau on the third level, which is quite close to where the door that you had exited is. What do you guys do?
I think we can't go and see our friend tonight. we were instructed that I guess the kitchen was closed, so to speak. So perhaps we should just go back to the room and get some rest. Yes.
But do you recall her saying a performance?
Yes.
Perhaps we should go and watch the performance.
Well, it's quite late. It's about 3 a.m.
Yes, but listen, I feel like we're on a lead, some sort of lead here, and I think we need to go watch the performance. I will go without you if you don't want to go.
Are you suggesting that instead of trying to get to the gate, that we should spend the day here tomorrow and wait for the show?
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And if we were to leave for the gate, you would just stay here to watch the show. Is that right?
I just feel like we'd be missing out on a big opportunity here to figure out some of the random clues about this building.
Well, I'm okay to explore a little bit longer, but I think once we're able to leave, we should do that.
Okay, just a little bit longer, I promise.
Okay. Where do we go now?
Jason, do we know where this performance is being held?
You get the sense that in the common area downstairs, the gruff, deep voice through the door, you heard the voice say tomorrow it was occurring, tomorrow evening. And so there's quite some time before it starts, but it would take place in the common area tomorrow evening. You imagine that you get the sense that this performance just ended, hours before you arrived this evening, and it is, things are just starting to kind of close up, and everyone's kind of cleaning the common area for the night. Below.
Okay. Well, since the performance is tomorrow, we can head to bed, but let's explore a little more, I'd say.
Okay. Where then? Where are we exploring?
Downstairs where Plunk and Cyra were?
Well, there were guards down at the bottom of the stairs.
I just think it would be fun, but that's maybe a little risky.
Have you ever been beaten by guards?
We've been through a lot together.
It's not a lot of fun.
It's not fun to be beaten. Maybe you're talking some sense into me. All right, we'll just head to bed then, I guess.
Yes, but perhaps tomorrow we could get beaten by the guards.
Okay, deal.
Okay.
But we won't get beaten.
Right, because we're going to leave. Okay.
Okay, all right.
I'll head back to the room.
Okay.
I mean, the sun's going to be up in a few hours at this point, right? Mm-hmm. So I probably don't have enough time for a long rest. Again.
Well, it depends on what time you want to kind of get going.
Well, I think as soon as Plunk is back, Plunk and Cyra are back, I'm hoping that they're going to give us some means to get to the gate.
And at this point, you're getting pretty tired. Like, you haven't slept. Yeah. You battle all day. You're about ready to. You're about ready to crash.
Yeah, I'm gonna
risk exhaustion.
I don't want to risk that. I'm gonna go in the room and I guess is anybody on the bed?
No.
All right, I'm gonna get in the bed.
Okay.
I gotta climb into the big bed and pull the blankets up.
Yeah, and this is a rare thing for you. You've actually never slept in a bed yet.
Yeah.
You slept in a hammock aboard the Wave Chaser, but never a bed.
Yeah.
And as you kind of get on with your weight, you hear it creak going a little bit, but it's comfortable and cozy. You've never experienced anything like it.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to do that. I'll say that to Gaziel. Just I don't know where she's going. I'll just explain to her that beds are supposed to creak under your weight.
And as you climb into, like the dirt from the day and from walking around, like kind of smearing across the white, clean sheets.
Bloody patches, yeah.
When friends get into the same bed, I'm gonna put my feet to his face so that we're sleeping on opposite sides.
Okay, except that your feet come to about his knees because you're much shorter than he is. Right.
Well, I'll do that. I'm getting in there with you because I'm tired. Might as well sleep.
But you're on top of the blankets, though.
Why can't I use the blankets?
Well, your head would be underneath them. You might suffocate.
Well, I'd go on the other side.
You guys settle in and you fall asleep.
Yeah.
Back to Plunk and Cyra.
I'm just gonna, if there's pillows, I'm just gonna make sure that I build a little wall down the middle.
Okay. All right. And Yanil is sleeping just beside you on the bed, on the floor, kind of right beside the bed. So
listen, even if Yanil wasn't there, that's not the point. Yet.
Fair enough. Plunk and Cyra, as you kind of calmly stroll, your heart rate starts to come down as you realize that the Zalezo has gone the other way. The streets are empty. It is really quiet. Very few lights from the surrounding buildings kind of pool into the street. It's quite dark. And as your heart rate kind of starts to come down, so does your energy level. realizing that you haven't slept yet after a very long day. What do you do?
It was really close.
Could you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
That was really close.
Yeah.
Do you, so what are this guard that you're looking for, do you actually know who it is? Or are you just speculating that they're here?
I mean, I don't know exactly who it is, but listen, I've got a plan, and if I don't do it, then there's really no reason for me to be. So I'll say this much: that this gate, we have to get to the gate. We have no choice. I have no choice. I've got to make it there. If I don't, well, I'll just say that everything is lost.
Well, I'm sure that that's the safest route for all of us. But given the time of night and that we've already been almost caught, do you think it's safe to continue on, or should we head back?
I mean, I do recall a little bit about the city, but I don't know how far that gate is, and so you may be right. I don't know. There's
at the very least, I think that at least we found, some semblance of our way around this place. And that maybe if we try again, we'd at least know what to look out for.
As you're talking, you do hear the sound of boots kind of approaching as you kind of hush your voices. And a guard walks by, but not dressed like a Zalezo or anyone you've seen from the Clovis Concord. This guard appears kind of olive-skinned. It's a female with hair tied back, kind of in a ponytail that goes down her back. She's wearing scale mail and a sword at her side. And as I said, a very different kind of style of guard, but definitely someone with purpose. And she kind of strolls back by, and she kind of looks at you, and she nods, and she continues.
Do I recognize anything about her, Jay?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. That is a natural 1.
Okay, nothing.
Okay. You're sure about that?
Yep, positive. And yeah, absolutely. Cyra, can you give me a perception check as well?
Sure. Oh, no. I rolled a 7.
Okay. You do notice that she does take a bit of a second glance at you, and she looks at Plunk and but then she looks at you in the way that you're dressed and continues on.
Okay. I just kind of, we were locked arms when we had last left, so I just kind of nuzzle into Plunk a little, even though there's a height difference.
Sure.
As we continue walking.
Yeah. I look up at Cyra like, what was that about?
And you still look like a Kancko, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So I actually say that to her. What do you think that was? Someone...
I don't know. I thought maybe at first she was somebody that you knew.
Oh, she, I mean, her, I'm not, let's, maybe I should go ask her. No, that's a good idea. So I'll go up to her, Jay. Is she still around?
Yeah, she's just walking somewhat briskly, but just past you. She's just some 30 paces behind you.
Yeah, so I'm going to take Cyra's advice, is how I've interpreted it.
Okay.
I gave no advice.
I know. This is something Plunk would do. I'm going to I go, okay, just wait, and kind of briskly walk up behind her and go, psst, hey, with my message cantrip in her mind.
Okay. And she stops and she kind of looks around. And then she looks behind you. She sees you standing there. And she kind of puts her hand kind of at her side where her sword is. And she just stops.
I just like, I put my hands up a little bit and I go, just in, still with message. I'm going to say, just wanting to make sure you aren't looking for me.
And she doesn't see her mouth moving, right? This is in her mind?
In her mind.
She just stops and stares.
Okay.
Confused.
Do I recognize her now? Is it someone from my past? Do I... No? Okay.
If I see her just kind of like, what's happening, can I use mind link with her as well?
Sure.
And just be like, I am so sorry. My husband is drunk right now. And he does this when he gets drunk. He just starts messaging people. I'm sorry. We're just going to move along.
And she looks past you, you to her, to past Plunk to you. And she says, this is quite strange. Why don't you just speak to me?
Again, and this is, I'm saying this out loud now. Okay. Again, just trying to explain what's happening. I'm so sorry. It's been a long day. We've had a lot to drink as I'm like pretending to stumble about. And he kind of does this sometimes with people. I'm so sorry. And I like grab Plunk and start trying to move, like just kind of walk away.
To what? And my response to her trying to pull me away, Jay, will be like, screw it. You know what? Screw it. And for the first time since you've known me, Cyra, I'll actually out loud with my beak speak in my true voice. So I'll just turn to you and go, don't you see I'm trying to do something?
Do I hear this come out of his mouth? I am so confused right now.
At this point, the guard looks at you and says, be along your way. And she kind of backs off like 3 or 4 feet and then turns and then continues to walk.
Okay. And I'll, you know, having recognized that I may have spoken out of turn a little bit, and I'll just turn to Cyra and I'll admit to her, I've not been totally truthful to you.
Can the rest of you please take your earphones out?
What? Oh, I still get to hear this. I'm so excited.
Everyone's ears are out?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Adam's. Adam is not on mute. Tricky.
I think he took his earphones out, though. I don't think he
did. He? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On Zoom, he's not. All right.
Yeah.
So, so I'll pull closer to Cyra, and just I'll reach out for her forearm, like I'll hold onto her wrist, but not forcefully, just like a friend pulling out to someone who's trying to explain something, and say, what I'm about to tell you, I haven't told anyone in years. And you've got to swear to me that you won't tell a living soul.
I just hold out my pinky. I promise.
So right before her eyes, I will flash into for maybe 3 seconds, Jay. I'm going to flash to her into my original form, which you see before you, Cyra, a medium human-sized being that is pale white, and you can tell, like, I am actively looking around, making sure that no one can see us. Like, I'm making sure that girl is far away. I'm making sure no one's awake. I pull you to a darkened corner and basically show you for the first time my true self. I am a 5'6" male. I'm medium build, not muscular, kind of scrawny, and I'm eloquent. I look like I'm dressed really well, but you only catch a glimpse of me for 3 minutes, and I say, "I've led you all astray," and then I flick back into Plunk. But you can tell, based on what I communicate to you, that that is actually who I am.
And as he says this, you do notice that he's got silvery hair and pupilless eyes before his body begins to change and morph back into who you know as Plunk.
Well, Plunk, I'm sure you have your reasons for what you're doing. I just want you to know that I know what it's like to feel like you need to run away sometimes. And so, for whatever reason that you're doing this, I'm at least glad you can trust me. And just know that I'm only here to help you. So, if you need me to keep this secret for you, it's fine. And if you want to tell me, that's great. But if you don't, I also understand.
My kind are not liked, not welcomed. We have to hide in the shadows all the time. People don't understand us. We're different than most everyone.
What is your kind?
I come from a race of beings called changelings, and I've been hiding in this form, in this Kancko form, from a birdman I noticed when I was a wee lad. But I had to hide this message that I'm carrying over the border so carefully. And my nobleman told me if I were ever to be found out, I'd be killed as soon as they found out that I revealed my message. It's so crucial that I get to that gate and that you don't tell anyone about this. You must not tell a soul.
You have my word, I won't tell anyone. And I'm just so sorry that you've had to carry that secret with you. And then I promise I'll do whatever I can so that you do what you need to do safely. But I understand more than you know.
Thank you. It means the world that I could share this with at least someone, and you, I mean, you're such a special person to share with. I didn't want to disappoint you any longer.
Oh, it's never a disappointment. Is Plunk your real name?
No, Plunk's not my real name. My real name is Gab. Surprisingly.
Would you prefer that I call you that? I mean, in secret, if nobody could hear us?
I haven't had. Oh, I mean, really, only my parents called me Gab.
I'll call you whatever you want. It's fine.
Okay, Gab's great. I've got the gift, so it's great. I would love for you. It would be like an honorary family member. You're my sister now.
That means a lot to me. I've been far from home enough to where just a lot of things are getting confusing, and I'm questioning whether I should even be here, and did I make the right decisions, but I'm really glad we met each other.
I am as well. I would not be able to find joy on a given day without you as part of our team. It would be totally different and way more painful. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I'll take your advice. We might want to go back now to the... What's it called again, that place? It's beautiful. The lavish shop.
Yeah, I think it's been a long few days. And I think that just to make sure that everybody else is okay and that I can't speak for you, but I know that I would love to just sleep for a bit.
No, I agree. I need my friends. I cannot do this alone. I cannot do it alone.
I understand. Just
right.
know that I'm here for you.
Thank you.
All right, with that, you head back to the lavish chateau, and as you approach it, you do see it's this beautiful building with a sign outside that says the lavish chateau, which you noticed on your way out. As you approach the building again, you enter. You notice that it's quieted down, but you are still in your Kancko form, which is the form that they saw kind of morph through Plunk. How do you want to approach the building?
Yeah.
Everyone else can put your ears back in.
So I'm going to tug on Cyra's arm again, and with message cantrip say, we might want to be careful as we approach. Perhaps there's a way to get a hold of them without actually going in.
Do you want them to meet us out here?
Or somehow get up there without passing those guards.
Well, I feel like maybe they're mostly looking for you. So I could maybe cast invisibility on you and just try to make my way quietly.
Oh, you can do that.
Try.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
And I'll end the message cantrip.
Okay. All right. Sorry, so what's the plan?
So I'm going to cast invisibility on Plunk.
Okay.
Because it seemed like they were looking more for him earlier.
Yep.
And then I'm just trying to quietly make my way back.
Okay.
Nonchalantly.
So are you're at the building now. Are you entering the building or are you waiting outside?
I mean, if we're casting invisibility, I'd like to do that away from the entrance.
Okay. Okay, so you find an alleyway. I mean, there's nobody in the streets at this time. So you find an alleyway. You manage to cast invisibility. Do you stay in the alley then, Cyra?
No, I'll try to slowly just make my way back, but just nonchalantly, not look like I'm
Yeah.
nervous or worried about anything. Just slowly make my way back to a room.
Okay.
And I'll stay closely by, maybe 10 paces back, just to make sure she doesn't get in trouble.
Okay. So as you walk through, Cyra, you see that the guards, there's one guard still talking to the server, and you do see the other two guards on the different landings, on the two landings that are stationed back where they were before. You do remember that they saw you exit the building in a hurry. And you imagine that... Go ahead. And they saw you with Plunk. So there's a chance, but...
There's a chance, but just going with my gut, I will just try to not make direct eye contact and just kind of keep my eyes forward and just not move in any way that seems suspicious. Just casually walking back.
Give me like a performance check.
18.
Okay, you manage to kind of slink by. You get past the first guard that actually saw you speaking to the server. They're embroiled in kind of a deep conversation, so you manage to get by. And then the other guards don't pay you any mind. As you get up to the third floor, Plunk, you follow behind her quite easily, and you are back on the third floor. You make your way back into the room. Those that are in the room, you hear creaking as Plunk and Cyra kind of enter. And I'm assuming you all rest for the night. What's the plan for Cyra and Plunk?
Long rest.
How long has it been since like I lay down?
Half an hour.
If anybody's awake, I just kind of want to check in on what's happened since we've left.
Is it time to go?
No, I think we should stay here for now. I think that'd be the safest.
All right. Can I sleep then?
Oh yeah, of course. Please do. I'm sorry. I didn't want to disturb you. I just wanted to see what had happened, if anything had happened while we left.
Just back snuck into a room of some woman. A woman's room.
Oh.
Well,
Do you know?
No, we were going to go talk to her, but we decided not to. She's tired.
Okay.
She had just finished some performance or something, and then
I'll snuggle into a kind of a corner of the room and just try to get some rest until morning.
All right.
Well, wake us up when it's time to go.
Okay. And I'll lay just whatever mats or whatever that are on the floor, I suppose, wherever there's room.
Yep. Okay. All right. You all settle in for the evening. Do you want to take a full rest? That'll take you almost till noon the next day.
That would be so great.
Okay.
Yes.
Unless Cyra or Plunk wakes us up,
No.
I'm going for maximum rest.
You all sleep
don't plan
through.
on it.
You're exhausted, and you all sleep very, very soundly.
Yay.
And you all start to kind of awake around the 11 noon sort of time frame. Light kind of beaming through the window now as some of the crew are already up. Some of them are stirring. And Borth stands up and stretches it out. So what's the plan?
I didn't really have one.
I'll tug on Cyra's mind strings and say in her head, the gate. Remember the gate.
Just mind link back to Plunk. Yeah, I know, but do we all go together? Should we go separately? What do you think? They're gonna be looking for.
I can't do it without my friends. I think we all have to go.
Okay. All right. So, I think addressing everybody, there is still the matter of trying to find Plunk's acquaintance at the gate who might be able to help us.
Couldn't find him last night.
No, things got a bit dicey, I should say.
Yeah, Jay, how far do we have to travel to get to this gate?
Well, the note that you found said 200 miles.
Oh, right. Wow.
Yeah, that's equivalent of about 8 days travel.
Oh, wow.
By
That's
foot.
way further. I thought it was like right outside.
No. So you
Okay.
can travel about 24 miles a day. So it's about
All right.
eight days of travel. That's including rests and all that.
So I
Assuming you're
hope we all
traveling
got
about
a
8
good
hours a day.
rest because this is a pretty far journey.
Do you have any idea of how we should go about getting there?
I mean, I would imagine the way things have gone the past few days that people might be looking for us. So the least amount of attention we can draw to ourselves might be the best way to go.
Should be simple. Looking around the room at the circus we have.
Yeah. Well, Bort speaks up and says,
Yeah.
"Well, we will not be going to the border. That is not where I want to go, and the crew has said that we will just find our way somewhere else. Perhaps you go, and we will stay here for some time, and eventually make our way
Yes,
along the Menagerie Coast.
Thank you for all of your help and to your crew.
Of course."
Was there somebody that you were wanting to speak to last night? Did you still want to do that before we head out?
Gaziel, did you want to?
Well, I I told Back that we should wait and watch the performance of this lady because it seemed a little, I don't know, it seemed like we should watch it because she's prominent of some sort, and I didn't want to leave before watching the performance.
And I was suggesting that it might be difficult for all of us to sneak into the common area to watch a show, considering that we're wanted everywhere.
That's probably right.
Yes,
And it seems, from speaking to Plunk, that we might... I mean, time seems to be of the essence here. But I don't know what the best way to go about this is.
maybe before we leave, we could just find out who this lady is, just to get some information. I think maybe we don't have to stay until the performance tonight. We can leave as soon as we figure out who this woman is.
It might help if she is a person that is common to this area. Maybe she might be able to help us in what's the safest route out of here.
That
Both.
could be helpful.
Both. Does anybody in your crew know who the Ruby of the Sea is?
Well, of course, I've heard of her, but I've never been in this area of Nicodranus before.
Oh,
Is
what
she-
have you heard?
Oh, she's an incredible singer and has other gifts.
Like dancing?
Yes, dancing.
Interesting. Does
Do
she
I
hold-
pick up on any of the
Insight check.
innuendos? That is a nat 20.
Yeah, you absolutely get exactly what he's talking about.
Suddenly, after all of this speaking, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Given what he's saying, she might be the person to know the ins and outs and ways about this area.
Do I
Okay,
have
some
Cyra's in
we
you?
should find her.
Okay, so should we try to speak with her then?
Yes.
Yeah, it might be weird to go as a group, though.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know personal order of operations, but I would imagine that this may be a person that deals in business one-on-one usually.
Oh, then I'll go.
Possibly. Maybe. Hey, I don't know.
You're a good
Maybe it-
negotiator.
Maybe I'm
You
just
should
small
go.
enough to sneak into the door when it opens and then just meet her face to face.
But yes, however, seeing as how this is a very reputable businesswoman, sneaking might not be the best approach. You might just want to just knock on the door.
Okay, then I volunteer as tribute to do that. I'll go speak to her, get some information, and then we can go to the gate on the long journey.
Okay?
Sounds like a
Okay.
plan.
Okay.
And be quick about it now.
I'll be right back, I promise. And if I'm not back, someone should probably try and find me.
You'll just be in the room, won't you?
Yeah, I just mean, if anything happens. We are wanted here, are we not?
Yes.
True.
Yeah. So give me like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Jason, can I go to the door? and
Totally,
just knock?
100%. I just need
Okay.
to know at this point, everyone who's getting ready, are you putting your armor on? What's the current situation? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Armor is on.
Okay.
I'll put it on before I go to the room.
And I'm going to, Jay, just to kind of give a clear signal to everyone, like I'm gonna be ready for a trip. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna make it clear, like Plunkrawk is going to a destination
Okay.
far away, and he's packing himself ready. You
Yeah.
know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to Snow.
Okay.
I see Plunk doing that, so I'll make sure that I pack my kit up nice and tight, like everything's really folded extra cool and whatever. And I want to say to Snow, Snow, are we still pirates?
I don't know. We're not quite above board with the law, if that's what you're asking.
I've heard that pirates kind of just take the things that they'd like.
Some do.
True?
Most do. I suppose it depends on where you sit more morally, you know.
Oh. Well, if it were you, as a pirate, do you think I could take one of the pillows?
Well, I mean, from establishments like this, people usually take the towels. I'm sure the pillows are replaceable.
Oh.
I'm sure they...
Are there towels in the room?
Yes, there are towels in the room.
I'm gonna grab a towel. Not the biggest one.
Okay. Just like a
hand
face
towel.
cloth? Like
No, bigger than a face cloth, but like a hand towel.
yeah. And it even has
Well-
like a little embroidered like L
Yeah.
C on it.
Yeah. So I'll look around the room. It's all our people, but I'll still look around the room and kind of fold it up and
Okay.
put it in my.
All right.
in my
Listen,
bag.
we didn't leave a credit card for incidentals. You're fine.
All right. Gaziel, you step out of the door, and as soon as you step out of the door, you are met with the sounds of the business that is occurring in the common area. You hear the clinking of glasses and cutlery. You hear voices. You hear joking and laughter coming from down the way. Currently, all you see at the end of this hallway is a Zalezo guard with his back to the hallway, kind of looking out over the common area, right at the end of the hallway. To the left, of course, is that nicer door that you see, but otherwise the hallway's empty.
Okay, I'm gonna approach the door
Okay.
that we knocked on yesterday.
Okay, and you knock.
And I give it a nice, big, professional knock
Okay.
with my small body.
What makes a knock professional?
You know, just
It's wearing
you know,
a
like
suit.
a nice,
Just
like
nice
a
and
nice-
solid.
Firm
nice and
wrist.
solid, like a nice solid handshake.
None
Okay.
of this.
Okay, all right. As you knock professionally, you hear the shuffling sound of heavy boots or something, footfalls on the other side. Again, same as the night prior, and you hear a voice say, you hear the shift of the eye hole cover, and you hear somebody say, may I help you?
Yes, hello. My name is Gaziel, and I would like to speak to the Ruby of the Sea, please.
Where are you?
I am just below the door. I'm a little bit small, but I assure you I am here.
Can you step back, please?
Yes.
And as you kind of step into view, because he couldn't see you due to your height below the eye hole, he says, back already.
Yes, I have very important information that I would like to share with the Ruby of the Sea. And yes, that is why I am here.
And who might you be?
Gaziel.
And the purpose of your visit is to give her information?
Yes, I have very important information.
What sort of information?
You know, information about some important people, maybe perhaps some important places.
She
Yes.
is very well informed.
Well, not only would I offer information, but I also would like to gain some information, kind of a trade of sorts,
She
a
is
brain trade.
Yes, she is otherwise indisposed. But if you'd like to give me that information, then perhaps I can give it to her. And then I can answer any questions that you might have.
Listen, sir, I believe you will want to let me in just for 2 minutes. Please let me in. Just a short conversation with the Ruby of the Sea. That is all I need.
Perception check, please. All right, sorry, persuasion check, please.
Come on. Don't fail me. Persuasion. I rolled a 19 plus a 4, 23.
Ooh, all right. Okay. At this point, you hear the unlocking of latches and locks, and you count at least half a dozen. And the door creaks, and on the other side, you see the massive form of a humanoid. But as he steps through, he is covered in fur with massive horns that are blunt at the tips. Give me a nature check, please.
Nature check. Oh, I got a 19 again. 18 for a total of 18.
A massive, dull-horned minotaur wearing a very fine shirt but no pants walks through. And a minotaur is basically like a man crossed with a bull. He has a big bull head with big horns, and he steps through, and he closes the door behind him, and he says, and he looks down at you, and he towers some 5 to 6 feet above you. And he looks down at you, and he says, Gaziel, the Ruby of the Sea is not here. Currently, she is out. But if you have something you'd like to tell me, I can tell her. It's clearly very important.
Well, listen. I may have some information about a certain group of people that you may want to know. But before I share that information, we need to know the ins and outs of where to get to the Wuyun Gates and how to do it safely, because we may not be people who can do that in the public's eye. But I don't want to share all that information just yet because, well, I deserve to see the Ruby of the Sea, and I deserve an exchange.
Your business is your own. You are looking to get to the border without being noticed.
Exactly.
Well, though small in stature, you stand out in a crowd. Does the rest of your group stand out as well?
Unfortunately, we are quite a circus of people.
I would say midday, especially in Nicodranus, is probably the best time to get lost in a crowd.
Midday, Nicodranus.
Like right now, markets are open, streets are busy.
Okay. And the Ruby of the Sea, is there perhaps a chance that we could see her before we're off on our way?
Well, she
Is there a merch table?
She is out in the market currently. She will be back later today. You can see her in her show this evening.
Okay. May I get some just information on who the Ruby of the Sea is?
Yes, she is a wonder to behold. The voice of an angel.
And she's quite important here, obviously.
She's very well known, very respected, and has been for some time.
Is there any information or security you could offer our group before we go out into the wild?
Well, I like your spunk. I can get you past the door of this building if that is what you want. I won't ask any questions, but I like you.
Okay. That's very helpful. Can I get your name?
My name is Blood.
Blood?
Yes.
Okay.
With U's and D's, not O's, not the same as... Never mind. Where's your group?
Okay. They're just in the room beside this room. I can gather them up, get them ready, and I will be back within 5 minutes.
Make it quick.
Okay. Sounds good, Blood. Ooh. Okay. I'll be back. And then I just scurry and run and tell everybody the information that I...
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay, everybody. I met a big, large, furry man. His name is Blood, and he is willing to get us out of this building and unnoticed, and we need to be ready in the next 5 minutes.
What is he charging?
Nothing. He just likes me.
I really thought the Ruby of the Sea was a woman.
The Ruby of the Sea, unfortunately, was not in the room. She is out in the market. So maybe perhaps we'll run into her. But Blood did say that this is the best time to leave, midday, so that we go unnoticed.
Did you feel he was telling you the truth?
Honestly, I don't know if I really got that information. But I honestly sensed a little bit of authenticity with him. So I believe we can trust him. Maybe I'm naive in thinking that, but
Okay, I guess we'll assess that when we see him. He didn't ask for any sort of compensation.
none whatsoever. He just honestly liked me.
Cyra, something...
Well, it was better to send you than Bacalhau.
Something seems a little bit off about this man just helping us leave.
A little bit, but Gaziel's very likable.
No question. She does grow on you after a while. I'm hesitant to trust people after all of the not very trustworthy people we've encountered and trusted and been betrayed by.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was a big minotaur, and I believe that because the Ruby of the Sea is well respected, I have a very good feeling about this.
So you're certain he's not just turning us into the gods for the reward?
I mean...
Did you tell him anything?
He doesn't know who we are, does he?
I didn't quite say that. I just said we're a very important group of people.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We also
I'm just nervously muttering, okay, to myself for the next 30 seconds.
Maybe I shouldn't have gone. Listen, we have the option of running out the window here or being escorted out of this building safely, and I believe we should take the second option.
Yes, well, our worst case scenario, there's a bunch of us and only one of him.
He's very
If he
big.
tries any funny business, we'll be ready.
He's a minotaur.
Yes.
A very large one.
Very large.
I have an idea. Did he say how he was going to get us out?
Well, he just said he was going to escort us out, no questions asked, because he liked me. Is there anything else you need to know other than he likes me?
He did say that now is the best time. I think perhaps we should just try to get our own plan in place to get out, but go now before he knows that we're leaving.
How do you expect to get out the door without anybody being suspicious of us as a group of people?
Well, Cyra,
you hear a big knock at the door, and you hear a voice that booms through. It says, "Little one, I don't have much time."
Is that Blood?
That's him. 1 second, and then I run to the door and say, yes, Blood, we are almost ready. Almost. Just give me a minute.
I would like to open the door.
Okay. Do you just open it wide?
No, just the crack.
Okay.
Hello. It's like
Yeah.
this much of my turly face. Hi, Mr. Blood. I was wondering why you wanted to help us. I see that you're a very important man. As you're not wearing pants, you must not have a master. I also don't wear pants.
He kind of looks down like it's the first time he's ever realized he's not wearing pants. Like not even realizing he's supposed to.
Yeah, very, very important. Do you know who we are?
I don't, but I know who owns this room. And he is greatly respected. And for that, I will offer to get you out of the building unharmed. But we must go now.
Do I feel like he's trustworthy?
Insight check.
25.
Yeah, 100%.
1 moment, Mr. Blood. I close the door. We should go now. He's good. He's got no pants. It's time to go.
Everybody get your stuff.
We're gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna make it. Yes.
Okay.
Are you trusting this blood solely based on your interaction with him, noticing that you didn't have any pants?
I have a very good sense, very good feeling about him. Actually, I'm quite perceptive when it comes to.
He was right about
people.
Yanil.
Yes, and Jana.
I mean, not Yanil. Was it not Yanil?
Well, I was right about both of them, I suppose.
Yeah.
You're right. I was right twice.
Okay. So the seven of you gather your things.
Jana.
Yeah. The seven of you gather your things and you start to make your way out. And as you look out, he watches all of you pass. And as the door opens, he kind of looks in a little bit and he sees there's another 5, 6 people in that room. And he just sees, I don't want to know. And he kind of walks out in front and begins to walk up. As he walks over, the guard turns to him and kind of greets him and then looks behind him and kind of raises an eyebrow, and Blood just lifts his hand and he whispers something in the guard's ear. And the guard kind of looks over and does this. And he just walks you down as everyone in the room kind of stops a little bit. And as you walk down, there are people with really nice clothing sitting at the tables. Some of them are having lunch. There are crackers and lit candles and cheeses on all 10 tables. Servers walk around, and the whole room kind of hushes as this ragtag motley crew kind of walks down the stairs, kind of nonchalantly, armor still dinged and bloodied, and you got to walk through to the front door. Blood ushers you to the front, and he says, "You may have a problem getting through the north gate out of Nicodranus, but the guard there, his name is Frederick. He is working today. This is his shift. He takes kindly to gold."
How much gold?
You figure that out. Enjoy your day.
Right.
Mr. Blood, if he's working today, I think that the gate is about 8 days away. Is it not?
The gate's out of Nicodranus.
Oh. Thank you.
Good day. And he
Good day,
turns
Mr. Blood.
Before
starts to
he
walk.
leaves, I hug him on the leg, just very aggressively.
And he stops, and his hoof kind of and he turns to you and he says, "All right, little one." And he kind of pats you on the head and then continues up the stairs.
Can I take my water skin and just spray her a bit? Like, no, Gaziel, no. Oh.
As you start to leave through the door, the rest of the room kind of settles back into what's going on. And you are brought into Nicodranus proper. Now, this is the Opal Archway, and so the sounds of the market and so on cannot be heard from this distance, but there are birds chirping, the sun is shining down on the street, the warmth of the Menagerie Coast kind of greets you, the smell of the Lucidian Ocean can be smelt even from this distance, and you feel that warmth on your face and you feel good. As you kind of come through, the streets are busy, but they're not crowded, not in this area. Everyone is dressed really, really nicely. In fact, as you kind of start to come out the door, you see passersby kind of look in your direction, kind of take a second glance and continue going. You notice that you're a little out of place in this area of the city. Snow, you know that the northern gates out of Nicodranus leading to the Wuyun Gate kind of move in the opposite direction of where the port is, where the Restless Wharf is, and it's not far travel. And even as you kind of start to exit, you actually see, you hear something that's a little out of place in this area. Again, you hear rich murmuring and conversation and kind of highfalutin sort of presence as a little boy actually runs past, and he's carrying a crossbow. And he's kind of there's no bolt in it, but he's laughing and he's carrying on as he runs past. And as he runs past, you see a little halfling man kind of chasing after him and yelling after him, which seems odd in itself as they kind of run past. But then a little dog you see run past and poofs out of existence and then poofs again, only 30 paces ahead as it chases this little boy and this man down the street as they laugh together and as the man kind of calls out after him.
So could we say, Jay, that mainly this quarter sounds like a whole bunch of bolts talking to each other?
Yes, yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very highfalutin.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
Well,
Well.
I see.
This is a strange place.
I don't know. I think everyone here seems pretty all right, don't you think?
Very odd, all of them.
I think we might want to just space out just a little bit. Not split up, but give a little bit of space so we're not in one big group. I'm going to put my hat on.
Yep.
And I'm going to take my shirt and I'm going to put it around Snow.
Okay.
So that he's kind of disguised too.
Okay.
Well, I'm covered with a cloak as much as possible, and head down, and
Very subtle.
So Bacalhau is not wearing any clothes, but he's wearing a hat now?
I don't need clothes
Yeah, but so why the hat?
to fit
over
in.
his face.
To disguise himself.
It's a classy area, Joel. I'm not going to go around without a hat.
The wanted poster only showed heads.
That's
If
right.
they can't see his head, they won't recognize him, right?
That's right. Thank you. Thank you,
Makes
Grant,
sense.
for getting it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. As you move through the streets, are you trying to blend in and carry on, or are you trying to move quietly and carefully so that you're not noticed? What's your
Blending in,
approach?
I've got a hat.
I think it's a combination of those two things. We want to move naturally through the crowd so that it looks like we're passers by, to your words, Jay.
Yep.
And kind of get to the north gate progressively without drawing attention to ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to be sneaking around so much that that's causing suspicion.
Okay, performance checks for everyone then, please.
Ooh, natural 20. Woo. Boom.
That hat
That's
is
hat.
on point.
Yeah, it is.
17 for me.
Okay.
23 for me.
Okay.
22.
14.
Wow.
12.
Wow. Okay. The average of the group is really great. In fact, you find your way through the streets, even asking a couple questions as you go to find out where that northern gate is. You get to that northern gate in a short amount of time. And as you begin to approach, the walls of Nicodranus exist, and you see a gatehouse, the gatehouse that you were described to as you approach. As you approach, there are two guards standing at the gate. They are Clovis Concord guards as you begin to approach.
I seem to
Remember,
recall something about Clovis Concord. Oh no, that's the Wuyun Gate. Sorry,
Yeah, there's a Lezo. The Zalezo guards here are standing, kind of watch at the gate. And as you've passed through the streets, you've seen Crown's Guard, much like we're dressed like the guard last night, which now you've kind of understood, and as Snow has kind of explained to you, that there is a mix of Crown's Guard and Zalezo here, as the Clovis Concord and the Dundalian Empire have kind of come together in this trade town. Because it's close to the border.
As we get closer, I'm gonna walk a little bit faster with Yanil,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna put my hand up, and I'm gonna go, Frederick, hi Frederick, and just see which one turns.
Yeah, one of the guards kind of turns and looks your way. Darker skinned gentleman, kind of has braids kind of tied back on his hair, kind of tightly woven, and kind of looks out and he says, yes?
Good to see you again. I'll turn around, say to everybody, that's Frederick. And as I get closer, I'll say, it's good to see you again, and then I'll lean in close and say, Blood sent us to you. He said you could help get us through. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a terrible negotiator, and I don't know what the price is for getting through the gate. So if you just let me know, then I can work things out.
Why would you have to pay to get through the gate?
Okay, well, if you're all right with us just passing through, then...
Well, yes, passage through the gate is free unless there is some reason why.
Are they going to check any sort of identification or anything like that?
Are you asking him this?
Yeah.
No, is there a reason? And as he kind of looks at the other guard...
Did I hear any of this?
Yes, I mean, I don't know if Bacalhau was trying to keep it quiet.
I'm
I just
speaking quietly to this guy, but she would probably hear.
can I just come up and just very smooth talkingly just be like, I'm so sorry. My friend here hasn't traveled very much and really isn't aware of the customs around here. Please forgive him. We'll just be on our way.
You're an idiot.
Very well.
As I try to just be like, look, this is a marketplace.
You start to shuffle through one at a time. And they kind of watch you as you go, but kind of like...
And I'll just be like,
shrug.
He doesn't even wear pants.
They kind of shrug at each other as they watch you go. And as you pass by, you actually see like there's a signpost at the gate, and the Seditious Six poster is posted on that board. But you manage to get by with no issues.
As we're passing by, I'll just point to the Seditious Six poster, and again change it to with my
prestidigitation. Yeah.
I'll just change the poster to say not wanted.
Okay. All right. It says not wanted. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. You find yourselves now heading towards the Wuyun Gorge, and you see that the gorge, the walls of the gorge, climb some 500,000, thousands of feet up on either side as you start to approach. And right at the mouth of the gorge is the border between the Ashkeeper Peaks to the south, Snow, you recognize, and the Sirius Mountains to the north. As kind of the clouds and the sunlight start to welcome you into the mouth of the gorge. That is where we're going to take a break for this evening. We are about halfway through our episode. I don't know if everyone's okay, but we may go a little bit late today, but we'll see how that goes with everyone and see how we do. We'll be right back. We're going to play some ads from our awesome sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Dwarven Forge. This is everything you need to know about our terrain in 60 seconds. Ready? Let's go. We hand sculpt our pieces for maximum detail and artistry, infusing passion into every millimeter of our work. Everything is available beautifully hand painted so you can start playing right away. Or you can choose unpainted to paint everything yourself. Our pieces are completely modular, so you can use the same sets to create a new adventure every time. Most pieces have embedded anchor magnets that affix to our terrain trays for secure building, and for revealing rooms as your players discover them. We create everything out of Dwarvenite, our top secret PVC formula that's nearly indestructible. We pack our pieces with as many features as possible, such as swappable LEDs to quickly change the look of your scene. We offer magnetic accessories to add flavor or increase the danger. A 1-inch tactical grid is sculpted into our floors, hidden in dungeon flagstones, natural rocks, or sticks and plants. In addition to sculpted pieces, we make terrain trays to use as a vibrant graphic base for your build. We offer a range of environments, including dungeons, caverns, cities, castles, sewers, forests, mountains, streets, burrows, ice, and hellscape. And that's just the beginning. We have a passionate fan base who can tell you all about it. And that's everything you need to know about Dwarven Forge in 60 seconds.
The games we play are the stories we create.
The fortress doors swing open.
Every story is unique.
And the sound of war drums rises.
Sometimes our stories come to us when we least expect them. We need to be ready no matter where inspiration strikes. And sometimes our stories are told over great distances. No matter where your journey leads you or how your story is told. The games we play are the stories we create. Syrinscape can help make yours epic.
Syrinscape is searchable, fast, and customizable from any device with no need to pre-install any sound. Adding epic atmosphere to your game has never been easier.
All right, welcome back. Oh, we have a D20 animation. It is working now.
Hey. And
All
I'm
right,
blurred.
cool.
I can't focus. There we go.
All right, you are now at the mouth of the Wuyun Gorge. You are rested. Thanks, Dave. That was good. Hilarious. And at present, the sun is beaming down. This area, you do see some travelers on the road, and you can tell it's a well-traveled road. You see a group with a cart with some horses kind of coming this way. You see some people just hoofing it, but maybe like half a dozen to a dozen travelers at any given time. I'd like to know how you're traveling, kind of your marching order for the kind of length of the time that you'll be traveling north.
I'm going to have a general state of like I want to get there, Ness.
Okay. You want to be in the front? Okay. All right.
I'll be at the very back.
Okay.
I'll be close with Plunk.
Okay.
Yanil and Bacalhau will just kind of stroll leisurely in the middle, like around vacation.
Okay.
You're out your honeymoon.
And I'll be the person that cuts in between them often.
Okay. And Snow?
I guess I'll be with Plunk at the front with my Echo.
Okay. And you want your Echo to be walking with you?
Yes, please.
In front of the group?
If Plunk's okay with the Echo being in front to trip traps.
Absolutely.
Potentially.
Okay. You're kind of all right. Okay. How far ahead do you want your Echo to be?
Maybe like 5 feet ahead of Plunk.
Okay.
So there's like a 5-foot gap in between.
Okay.
That gives about 15 feet away from me. If it goes beyond 30 feet, then it disappears. So.
Okay. And you do notice people kind of noticing the Echo and kind of staying away from your group as your group is walking. I mean, your group in general is quite the presence. But the Echo kind of sets people off a little bit.
So is it attracting the negative attention to us then?
Possibly.
Okay, then maybe I'll dissipate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You all head along your way. You travel for a day, and again, you find that you do pass a number of groups of all different kinds, all different races. And a lot of people seem to be coming back, merchants with empty carts who have been in the Empire, who are coming back after a long time of trade. And you finally kind of come to an area closer to the end of the first day where you're starting to get tired again. You've traveled now for some 7-8 hours. The sun has set hours ago, and the gorge is quite quiet. Every once in a while, you'll see somebody pass, but it's quite quiet. Every once in a while, too, you'll hear like a debris fall down the side. You'll hear the sound of kind of commotion up above, which kind of sets you off a little bit, especially in the darkness of the gorge. But for the most part, it's just the usual kind of wildlife that would exist here.
How high are the walls of this gorge? Can you remind me, Jay?
They go from hundreds of feet to thousands of feet. It's basically like the foot of the mountains, right? The mountains both meet at this gorge. And so varying heights and degrees of slope.
Is it man-made or is it totally natural? Like your
Natural, like potentially it was a riverbed of some sort or something at some point, but now is a well-traveled road.
Out of cart? Like, is it mostly merchants, or are there people that are just walking with stuff?
There are families. There are some soldiers who you can see are kind of off duty. Every once in a while, you'll see like a Clovis Concord kind of guard walk by, or a Crown's guard coming from the direction of the gate. But maybe every like couple hours, you'll see a guard or a soldier. You haven't really seen anyone who is manning, like standing in an area, who is kind of patrolling the gorge necessarily. It's not really guarded as such.
I'm trying to get a sense of why people would be traveling up there if they're not a merchant.
Give me an insight
We don't
check.
have a card.
Insight check.
D&D Beyond's dice love me tonight. It's another natural 20.
Oh, wow.
Plus 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
So 27.
You get, you know what it's like to be kind of running from something or escaping someone. You get the sense that some people have that sort of feeling about them, like they're leaving the Empire. There is war, from what you know, from what you heard last, that the Dwendalian Empire is at war with the Kryn dynasty. And so perhaps they're escaping that. So you get the sense that some people are fleeing, potentially.
What about traveling in the same direction as us, like towards the gate?
Yeah, so if you've stopped for little rests here and there, but you're kind of moving at the same pace as anybody who would be, so you're not necessarily passing anyone or lapping anyone. But at this point, as it starts to get darker, you are seeing little campsites along the gorge as you pass of people kind of hunkering down for the evening. But you do notice that most people are armed in some way, shape, or form, or traveling with some sort of guard or armed presence.
Is there a cultural difference as we're moving from one area towards the border? Like, can we tell that there's like, one culture on one side, another culture on the other side, like that's dominating?
Yeah, you can tell that folks coming from the Empire are quite differently dressed, and the race breakdown is different than the ones who you saw in the Menagerie Coast. But it is still a menagerie of all kinds of races, but mostly humans that you can tell.
Is it getting dark enough that we should be considering to make camp?
You are getting tired at this point, yeah.
Yes, friends, I think we should probably try to set up some sort of camp for the night. It looks like most travelers are employing some sort of guard, so I think we should probably keep watch.
Are there no small villages between here and the gate, perhaps? Somewhere nice?
I don't know.
History check.
Yeah. Me?
Yeah, anyone who wants to know, yeah.
It's a 10.
Okay. I mean, none of you have come this way and in this direction before. Even those that came from the Empire, Gaziel specifically and Bolt, you would have come from further north and then made your way down. And so you don't know, but you don't think so. Like, the understanding is that this road, and from what you've heard, is it's a straight shot for those 8 days, basically, of gorge. There are little encampments and so on, like I said, but this is just basically like a highway almost to get from one place to the other.
Yes, I think we're just on our own here. I might as well just set up our own camp. But on the good side, you get to make a bonfire.
Yeah,
I know you love to do that.
I'm going to point at a pile of dry sticks that I collect and put on the ground in front of Bolt and just go like, like, ah.
This is my birthday or something? I'm touched. Well. Great bonfire.
Really make it suspenseful.
On your birthday, you don't blow out the candles, you light them.
As the bonfire kind of lights, you all settle in. You start to eat, you're taking out rations, and you're doing what you typically do to set up camp. At some point throughout kind of the evening, Bacalhau, you do notice that Yanil kind of like stands up and kind of moves off to the side a little bit. And starts she opens up her little pack that she has, and she starts to kind of go through her belongings. And she's always had this really old, tattered sort of satchel at her side. And she starts to kind of like go through things, and you're not quite sure, but she's kind of off to herself, sort of keeping to herself.
Cyra, I think Yanil might be having some lady issues. I see her rifling through her bag.
Excuse me?
Would you mind going to talk to her? I don't know how these things work.
Lady issues?
Yes, I've only heard, but would you go speak to her?
Sure. Why don't you figure out your pants situation? I'll go talk to Yanil about her lady issues.
Yes, thank you very much.
I'll just give him a side eye and walk away.
Did I overhear that? Or did I want to touch him?
No, it was quiet. It was a quiet
Please do.
You don't even
What
know
do
what
I
to
see?
say.
What do I actually see Yanil doing?
She's looking through her satchel, and she's just pulling some things out, and she's, and you do notice. Actually, give me a perception check.
Okay. Let's do this on. An 8.
Okay. Well, she's very clearly kind of going through her pack, and as she kind of sees you look over, she doesn't try and hide anything. But she has already taken out what looks like a little kind of vial of sand that's on kind of the rock beside her. You also see a little vial of ink beside that. And she, as you come up, she kind of pulls out a quill that has this really nice kind of colorful purple and blue feather on the end of it. And she kind of looks over at you. She says, "Hello, Cyra."
Hi. It's absolutely none of my business. Nor do I expect you to tell me what you're doing. But if there's anything you are doing that I could be of assistance with, or, if you want to talk about anything, I'm here. Otherwise, I don't know. There's people with no pants on that I don't want to talk to right now. How are you doing with all of this? Everything. Just checking in.
I'm fine. I'm happy that we've come this far alone and safely.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt tonight to speak to my my cohort, and I haven't done it in some time. But that's what I'm doing. I'm just preparing to do that.
Are you in love with your cohort?
In love? Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm just, no, I just projected on, no, sorry.
I have love for him, yes. He is dear to me. But I speak to him in my dreams.
I can relate to that.
I know.
Is it difficult being as wise and as smart as you are and having to deal with, not to insult our own party, but us? We're not the best. We try our best, but we're not always that great at what we're trying to do, but we have good intentions. Are you okay being here with us? I mean, we're trying our hardest and we want the best for you. And I would love to talk to you more about this because I feel like you understand me now more than other people.
Well, yes, when you've lived as long as I have, everyone kind of appears the same. All of us have our own issues and thoughts and ideas and goals, and I've seen many come and many go, and you just kind of accept that people are who they are, and they don't really ever change necessarily, though they try and bring change, I guess, in some way, shape, or form to their own lives. I just take people for who they are. I've learned to just accept how things are. And all we can do is try to do a little good in this world.
I wish more people were like you. Did you ever have somebody or people that you love wish something for you that you didn't want? and that you felt like you had a different path.
I would say being trapped in the temple for hundreds of years probably suffices to somebody making me do something I didn't want to do.
Gosh, I'm so...
That's okay. I know we haven't spoken about it.
I keep forgetting
It's all
that
right.
you're
And
just lived so much longer than I have. I feel like an idiot.
I took that time to dig deep, to take note of the things that I knew I'd see one day. And frankly, it is this party, this group of people who have brought me out of it, who represent my freedom. And for that, I am eternally grateful. And because of that, I can continue my purpose.
That's how I feel. I don't want to bug you with my laundry list of issues, but I feel happy that I left home to be out here and experience the world, because I know that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to have the freedom to form those opinions for myself, but I feel like I left without taking a firm stance on who I am, if that makes sense. And all of the things that my parents expected of me and who they wanted me to be, I couldn't give them. And so instead of just being firm in what I believed and took a stand and like stood up for myself, I left. And I feel like I deserve that freedom, and I'm happy that I did that, but I still feel like I took a coward's way out.
No. I will tell you, I sense strength in you. I sense purpose. I sense independence. I sense that you know that you've done the right thing. And as someone who has been a prisoner for some time, there's nothing worse than being in a prison with no walls.
Yeah.
Dictated by those that would oppress you. You have done the right thing. I see more than most. You are on the right path.
Thank you. It's hard because I just have every doubt jumbled in my head, and I sometimes can't make sense of it. And I know that you're really wise and have lived this so many times, and I appreciate you.
The one bit of advice I would give you is be sure not to fall into that again. Sometimes our freedom is our prison.
I'm not quite sure I understand.
You will. Get some rest. We have a long road ahead. Right.
Thank you.
With that, Yanil, you watch as she kind of leans back on the rock that she's on, and she takes out the sand and she pours it in her hand, and she kind of flattens it out, and then she throws it up in the air, and the sand kind of freezes midair. And with that, she dips the quill into the ink, and she starts to write and scribe runes on this sheet of sand out in front. And as she finishes the last rune, there's a flash of light as she kind of closes her eyes and she rests back, and the light and the sand dissipate and begin to kind of fall in like sparkly over her as she sleeps.
That's terrifying.
And you all kind of see this flash of light kind of move, and as it kind of rests, she kind of goes over and she falls asleep.
Would I recognize this spell at all? Would I have ever seen it used, or like whatever she did? That's crazy balls. That's 22.
Ooh. With the 22, you don't know what spell it is. It's above your kind of experience. but you sense that the school might be illusory. So illusion. Illusory? Whatever that word is.
Crazy.
All right.
I will go quietly and rest beside her.
Okay.
A little intimidated.
Yeah, she doesn't stir at all.
Yeah.
Okay. What do the rest of you do for the evening?
I'll just keep tending to the fire. Put some stuff in. And then I'll set up my bedroll and sleep next to it.
Okay.
I'll take the first watch.
Okay.
I'm going to be awake with my thoughts for a while. So whenever I feel like it's my turn to take watch or rest, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, the fact that as I'm going over towards Seer's coming back, like clearly emotionally shaken.
Yeah.
I'm like extra nervous to just go and lay beside her. Like, how? What am I even doing here? I'm nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will
I'll just
also be restless, not quite comfortable enough to fall asleep, just keep my eyes open, rolling them back and forth, making sure that we make it through the night.
Okay.
I've probably been feeling a little purposeless, so I'm gonna spend a little bit of time praying to my God. Hello.
All right. Can you give me a religion check?
Reconnecting.
Yeah, give me a religion check.
Religion. That's a 3.
Okay. You're tired, and so you find yourself kind of rested and confident, but you find yourself kind of sleep takes you as you finish your prayer and you fall asleep. All right. You all rest for the evening. It is cooler in the gorge in the evening than it was in Nicodranus or anywhere on the Menagerie Coast. And you can even tell after this, even this first day of travel, that the temperature and the weather's changing slightly. As you pass through this gorge, the further you go, the more you feel that shift beginning to take place. Bacalhau, you are woken, and as you kind of wake up, your eyes kind of open and greet the sun that is starting to peek over the edge of the gorge. It is early in the morning. The rest of the party sleeps, and Yanil stands over you. And she says, Bacalhau, it's time to go. I've spoken with my colleague. I know where we need to go.
All right. Let me just wake the others, and we'll head off. And I'll go around. And I'll poke everybody. Time to go. Says it's time to go.
Okay.
So I'll go back to so you know where he is then.
Well, once we cross the gates, we must travel to the hidden settlement of Volantum, nestled deep in the Curious Mountains. That is where he is, but to do so, we must first travel to Comorda. It's a settlement found within the Bromkiln Hills at the foot of Mount Mentiri. It's north of the gates, some ways. It will take some time to get there, but that is where we need to head.
I can't type this fast. You're gonna have to repeat it later.
Okay.
So all I got was once we cross the gates, there's a hidden settlement
called Volantum.
Volantum.
Yep.
And then I wrote Cadora in, and that's as far as I got.
So Volantum is nestled in the Curious Mountains, the Sirius Mountains. Sorry.
Up, David.
But she said first you need to travel to Comorda to get more information about where this hidden settlement might be, that you might find answers in Comorda. And Camorta is found within the Bromkiln Hills at the foot of Mount Mentiri. And Mount Mentiri is like one of the largest, the tallest peaks within the Sirius Mountains.
It's Mount Bromkill Hills at the foot of
Bromkiln
Mount
Hills.
Kiln
Yeah.
Hills at the foot of Mount
Mentiri.
Mentiri.
Yeah.
Is that on this side of the Empire?
It's past the gates, within the Empire.
Okay.
That's all I know. I took some time to speak to him. It was nice. It's been some time.
So, I'm glad you were able to communicate with him. I saw you doing some very impressive illusory magic. I wish I was that good, but I'm not yet.
You'll get there.
But I saw you made Cyra cry a little. That was different too.
Well, those were perhaps tears of realization, not of sadness.
That's good.
Yes.
Is anyone interested in breakfast? I might actually. You know what? I don't care. I'm going to cast Create Bonfire.
Okay. So you all settle in. The warmth of the day begins to encompass you. You finish some food and you head off. You travel for another number of days, 3 to be exact. And again, after now 4 days of travel, there is a distinct change in temperament. It's not that hot, scalding kind of tropical weather, but it's not cold. It's just kind of temperate. It's somewhere in the middle. And you continue on for another couple days until you know that you're nearing the gates. You imagine at this point, as kind of you start to get the sense that you've been traveling for about 7.5 days at this point into your travel. I'd like you all also to take off 8 days of rations, please, from your inventory.
There is something else I'd like to do while we walk down the road.
Sure.
If you would permit it, DM. At some point when we're, I would say, about 80 feet from a prominent tree, I'm going to lean over as if I'm tying my shoelaces. I don't have any shoes, but I've seen this done before. And I'm going to call Gaziel over. Gaziel, come here for a minute.
Yes.
Okay. Remember when we first met? We were having a race.
A race? You might have to fill me in. It's a little fuzzy. It's been a while.
We decided to have a race, and somebody tripped and fell and knocked us both over, and it wasn't a fair race. And I'd like to try it again. Ready? Go! And I'm going to cast Longstrider.
Okay.
On myself and start running to the tree.
Okay. And before you can even realize kind of what's going on, basically the dust from the gorge kind of is lifted in the air, and Bacalhau just beelines towards the tree. And everyone kind of stops and looks. There's a couple passerby that kind of stop as well and are taken aback by it.
So between my movement and like a dash, I'd be able to do 80 feet in a round.
Yeah.
So I'll run there and then run back to the group.
Yeah. And he kind of stops and kicks up a dust cloud when he kind of skids to a stop in front of you.
So I won. You weren't even close.
Yes, you won.
That's
great
settles
race.
that. Big question since the very beginning, but now we've settled it. So nobody's wondering anymore. Everybody saw.
Okay, you won. So good.
I'll just
proud of you.
dust off my hat and put it back on. And I'll walk proudly over to you now that I've demonstrated my superior genetics.
Good. That's great.
I'm just still confused as ever. I just walk away because I'm like, I don't know what the heck just happened.
She's embarrassed.
Bacalhau is quite happy with himself. All right. as you continue on throughout the day, Cyra, can I get a perception check, please?
Ooh, 21.
Okay. With a 21, there's a wind that begins to pick up. And it's strong. And it starts to kind of blow through the gorge, as the gorge is a bit of a wind tunnel, obviously. And it begins to kind of batter you folks, and to the point where, not necessarily dust in your eyes, but you're feeling the pressure of it. Cyra, you distinctly are transported in your mind just to a time back home, where once in a while there would be a sandstorm of sorts. And there's a distinct kind of pitch to it. And as you kind of close your eyes and you start to kind of remember that, you actually start to feel bits of sand touching your face. And as you open up, you realize that this isn't just a memory, it's actually happening. And it begins to pick up and pick up and pick up. And the rest of you see that there is almost like a wave of sand coming in your direction, seemingly out of nowhere and seemingly displaced, like not quite belonging to the environment that you're in. To the point where you have to start to kind of bring up your cloaks and your hoods. People around begin to kind of run and take cover as this sandstorm begins to pick up pace. What do you do, if anything?
I will, if I can see Snow during this, I will use Mind Link to tell Snow, something about this doesn't seem right. I'm just getting a bad feeling.
I just felt the wind pick up, and now all of a sudden we're being pelted.
I think we should warn everybody to take cover.
I'm going to...
All right.
Moving forward, and rather than just walking, I'm going to like stick the end of the broom in the ground and kind of pull myself forward, like.
Okay.
I'll look at Yanil and ask, is this your message coming back to you?
No. It appears to be a sandstorm.
Oh.
I believe we can avoid the sandstorm if we can do the thing with the rope and we climb up.
Yeah.
We need to find shelter.
It thickens. And quite quickly thickens to the point where you can't see 2 feet in front of you.
Can I grab hands around me? Like, Yanil would probably be right beside me, so I'll reach to try to grab her. And then Gaziel said she was going to be irritating us, so I'll try to grab her as well, just so we don't lose each other.
Yeah.
So I normally have 30 feet blind sight. How does that give us any advantage here?
Give me a perception check with disadvantage, please.
Okay. That's a 17. The
Okay.
other one was a nat 20, so.
Okay, nat 20 it is. With a nat 20...
you said disadvantage, though. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. That's right.
So 17.
Yeah, so with the 17, you absolutely sense that there is movement around you. The whirling of the wind is kind of dampening your senses, but because you're not too worried about sight, you sense that there is movement of something around you, multiple figures.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I'm still next to Cyra, so I'm going to try to say as quietly as I can while still knowing that she can hear me, that there are beings around, and maybe see if she can communicate that to the rest of the parties, so, like, in their minds.
Sorry, what did you ask?
So I'm just going to say quietly to you so that only you can hear. Ask you if you can communicate to the rest of the party with your mind link that there are other beings around us within the wind and the sand.
Okay, so one by one, I will use Mind Link to just alert everybody to the situation.
You get to 3 people, and all of a sudden you hear a voice in your head. A familiar voice that says, Cyra, come back home.
Who do I recognize this voice as?
It's the voice of your father.
I can't do that right now. With the things that you're expecting and demanding of me. I can't. What you want from me is not what I want of myself.
As you say that, the windstorm begins to, almost like there's a, it starts to clear from the center and swirl until it opens up, and there is almost like you're in the eye of a storm. And it recedes and continues to recede and recedes until you see 6 figures on either side of you. 3 behind and 3 ahead.
These figures seem seditious at all?
Give me an insight check.
I was kidding. I was assuming you were not meaning us.
No, you are obviously. I don't mean you.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna lower my goggles. Put them over my eyes.
Yeah, do I recognize the other 6 that are there?
Here, give me 1 second. Let me just set this up here.
Have I ever seen Bolt with his goggles actually on his eyes?
No, this is probably the first time, I imagine.
Okay, so I'll look over at Bolt, point at him, and with message, say to him, nice goggles.
There is
You wherever you are.
what appears to be a, like I said, the sand recedes. This isn't fire. This represents the sand, as I don't have sand walls. But they recede until there is a circle, basically surrounding you and the group around you. You and the figures. As you look over, each figure is dressed in what appears to be some sort of studded leather armor, seemingly Marquesian in make. Cyra, you very clearly recognize this as armor and garb from your homeland. Each one of the figures has a red, almost like a deep red sash that is tied around their head and then comes and ties around their face and is blowing in the wind beside them. Orange orbs in darkness is what makes up their face. Each of them stands, but you can see that there are scimitars on their backs. All of them seem very similarly dressed in kind of drab browns, dark browns, light browns, with hints of red as they stand. And seemingly motionless, hands at their side, but with a wide stance, as they just look at you standing in the gorge.
I'm going
to
to...
you nil. Oh.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I'm going to draw my daggers and place my back to everyone else, trying to get everyone to, like, make a buffalo circle. You know what I mean? Like a circle, like drawing the wagons together so that they can't get to us.
Okay.
Using Mind Link, I'll say to Yanil, they've come for me. I knew they wouldn't just let me be who I am.
We will protect you. Stay close, child. Okay, so I'm going to allow each of you to make a move. So, Plunk, you said you were kind of backing off here?
Yeah, I'm backing. I'm turning my back towards the rest of the group as a way to point out to the the edge of the circle so that we're protecting from all sides. You know what I mean? Kind of signaling to others that we're in a defensive stance.
Okay. Bacalhau?
I'm gonna join in creating this sort of circle, but I'm gonna ask Cyra, who are these people?
They are people from my kingdom. I'm sorry.
Do you want to go with them?
No.
That's all you need to say.
Snow?
Can I hold an action?
Yep.
If they try to take her by force, or attack, I'd like to cast Witch Bolt at 2nd level on whichever one is closest to me.
Okay. Snow?
I'll drop an echo in front of Cyra to act as a shield.
Okay. Plunk? Sorry, Plunk, you already went. Gaziel?
I also am going to do exactly what Plunk did and turn to create this, protection from all sides. And then I'd also like to ready an action, and I want to cast Moonbeam on the character that's closest to me if they attack.
If they attack. Okay, so you're readying Moonbeam?
I would also like to, remembering my love and why I'm here and thinking about her, I will use her gifts to summon a shadow spawn to protect me.
Okay.
I will hold that action.
Okay. All right. Do you want to move at all?
No.
Okay. And Bolt.
I'm going to ready Fairy Fire, and I will cast it at the two at the top, just in front of me there. So I'll be facing them. And if they step forward at all, I will cast it so that it would touch both of them.
Okay, so you're readying an action?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to turn and face them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. At this point, as soon as they see you all starting to incant and prepare, as they see you grab for your daggers, Plunk, they all reach back almost in sync, and they draw both scimitars, and the scimitars glow with almost red hot heat as they're drawn. I would like you all to roll initiative.
Okay.
7.
13 for me.
Okay.
11.
Okay.
12 for me.
25.
All right. Sorry. Let me go through. Snow first.
14.
Plunk.
13.
Bolt.
11.
Bacalhau.
25.
Gaziel.
12.
Cyra.
I think it was a 7, I believe.
Okay.
Sorry, Jay, I'm adding this wrong. It's 22.
22. Okay, that's fine. You're first anyways. Okay, Bacalhau, you're first. So as they draw their weapons, you are up.
I will. Is one noticeably a leader over the others?
No, they all seem oddly similar, almost exact, down to the stitch in their clothing.
Okay. She doesn't want to go with you, and we're not going to let you take her. So, the choice is up to you, but you're not getting her. And I will continue to hold my action. That if they attack anybody in the group or try to take her, I cast Witch Bolt at the closest one.
Okay, the closest one to you?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Snow, you're up. Plunk, you're on deck.
All right. Have any of them taken an action. I know that they drew their weapons, but do we have the impression that
They
they're
haven't made
going
any
to
sort of
attack us for
movement.
sure?
They've only drawn
Okay.
weapons.
Then I will hold an action to attack with using my echo, if need be.
Okay. Plunk.
So yeah.
I will. I'll do the same. I'll draw both my daggers at the ready for anyone who might move forward. But what I'll do is, with my full physical voice, scream out, "You will not take my sister!"
Okay. And you all hear for the first time Plunk yell. And at first you wonder, for those of you that have heard it in his voice, but you hear his voice for the first time. Gaziel, you're up. Both are on deck.
Yeah, what he said, as I point to Plunk, and I want to ready, I still want to ready Moonbeam only when I know that they're attacking.
Bolt?
I'm gonna say, yes, don't come any further. This is your last warning. And I'm gonna continue to hold Fairy Fire in front of the two that are just in front of me, and I'll cast it on both of them if either of them advances.
Okay. And Cyra?
I'm holding.
You're gonna ready that action again?
Yeah, it's there. I will say, you know what? I'll just say that I've cast it. I've cast.
Okay.
Summon Shadow Spawn. I'm thinking of my love, and the image of her inspires me, and I want this shadow spirit to embody her physically. I don't know how much it will be able to do so.
Okay.
But I think it needs to embody a certain emotion, and that will be fury.
Okay. Can you give me a description of, or read out the spell?
It says you call forth a shadowy spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space that you can see within range, which is within 90 feet.
Okay.
This corporeal form uses the shadow spirit stat block. When you cast a spell, choose an emotion: fury, despair, or fear. So I chose fury. The creature resembles a misshapen vibe marked by the chosen emotion, which determines certain traits in its stat block. The creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points or when the spell ends, which is a concentration spell for an hour. The creature is an ally to you and your companions. In combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands with no action required by you. If you don't issue any, it takes the dodge action and uses its move to avoid danger. And then it gives a stat block for the shadow spirit.
Okay, what size is it?
Medium.
And you said it's incorporeal? Or corporal?
It's corporal, I believe. Yes, corporal.
Okay. And so you see, you all see this creature apparate beside Cyra, and it appears like a flaming humanoid shape, made and doused in flames, with burning, fiery, bright eyes that stand beside her. Cyra, where do you want to apparate
female
it?
features. What?
With female features. Where do you want it to apparate?
I will have her at my right-hand side.
Okay. All right. And it's an action to cast it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to find. Here we go. Okay. All right. At this point, they all charge in unison. So this one is going to, we'll go one at a time. This one starts to run towards you, Bacalhau. Okay. Yep. And you were readying
Witch Bolt.
Okay, go ahead.
Son of a gun. 15 to hit.
That is a hit.
Oh, yeah. 2d12s, baby.
Okay.
Woo! 21.
21 points of damage.
Yeah.
As your Witch Bolt slams into this being, It tears through its body, but it appears that where the witch bolt hits, that part of the body becomes sand and blows out the back of the creature. And the creature, the sand kind of reforms at its core again, but with part of it almost thinner. Like you can almost see through the area that you hit. Like it's less dense in that area.
Interesting.
This one is running towards you, Bolt. Your action?
Yeah, so that would trigger Fairy Fire,
Yeah.
which means that both of those have to make a DC 16 Dex save.
One of them passes, one of them fails.
Okay, so the one that fails is now glowing orange.
Orange? Okay.
And attacks on it will have advantage.
Okay. All right. Okay, this one is going to attack you, Gaziel, as it approaches. Moonbeam?
And it has to make a Constitution saving throw of 15.
It fails.
Okay, so if it fails, it takes 2d10 radiant damage.
Ooh. What?
So I'm gonna roll that, and that is a total of 10.
10 points of damage?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, perchance, Jay, are they equally all taking damage since they're so similar?
No. Nice try, though. Okay, this one is going to approach you, Plunk, as it closes the distance.
Okay.
And as it gets within striking distance, I'm assuming you attack?
Yeah, I'm going to attack with Dissonant Whispers. I'm going to cast at 3rd level.
Okay, but this isn't your turn, so you were readying an action, right?
Yeah, I'm going to ready Dissonant Whispers.
You would have had to have ready that last time, because you said you had your daggers?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll attack with your daggers this turn?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be 6 points. Sorry. That'll be sorry. 1 second. Hold, please. An attack. 8 to attack.
Oh, and that's both. You attack with two daggers or just the one?
Just the one.
Okay. As you kind of slice through, it feels like you're slicing through loose sand, and sand kind of flies off the side of the creature as it kind of goes through it. This one is going to attack your Echo Snow as it's out in front. You were readying an action with the Echo?
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right, so that is a 24 and a 23 to hit. Actually, sorry, that's 25 and 24 to hit.
Those are hits.
Okay, so that's a total of 17 points of damage.
Very nice. And again, as your Echo slices through with its scimitars, sand is being flung from side to side.
Oh, there's actually one more attack on there because I didn't use a bonus action this time, so I can dual wield with one attack. So that is a 18 to hit on that one.
That's a hit.
Okay, and that is 8 damage additional.
All right.
Jason, are these shape changers by chance? No, they're not, right?
Not that you know of.
Okay. Because if it did happen, the shape changer would go back to its original form with my spell.
Yeah, no, it's not.
In case, okay.
This one is also going to attack yours. So now I'm going to go through in order for the attacks. Bacalhau, the first one is going to attack you.
Oh, are they before me?
Yeah, they're moving. You guys got your ready actions. They rolled really bad initiative, so they're all going to go now, and then it's back to the top of the order. That's a 16. Bacalhau.
Miss.
And that's a 20. Dirty 20. Sorry,
Happens.
20. Sorry, it's 17 and a 21.
Oh, I'm my AC 17.
Then they're both a hit. Okay. That's 8 points of slashing damage with the searing sword. That's 10 points of additional fire damage as these searing hot swords swipe across your chest.
Okay. I will use absorb elements as a reaction to absorb the fire damage.
Okay.
I will absorb 6 points of it.
Okay. Okay. Bolt, it's going to be a 20 to hit and an 8. I'm assuming the 20 hits.
Yes, just the 20.
So that's 7 points of slashing damage. And then 3 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Gaziel. The second one's an 18 to hit.
What am I looking at here?
Your armor class.
Oh, so if I'm 13, then they would hit.
You wouldn't be a 13 now. Have you put your armor and your shield back?
Oh, no, I did not. I need a second to do that. Okay, chainmail on. And shield on. Okay, now I'm at a 19.
There you go. As these searing hot blades glance off your armor. Plunk.
Nice.
That's not going to be enough. That is going to be a 21, I'm assuming hits.
Yep.
8 points of damage. Sorry, no. 6 points of slashing damage. And another 7 points of fire damage.
Ouch.
And then they dissipate your echo snow with their 2 attacks. 2 of them on your echo, and it goes away.
Okay.
Back to the top of the order. Bacalhau, you're up. Snow, you're on deck.
Yeah, I'm going to take my... I haven't fought with this at all yet, but I'm going to take my quarterstaff.
Yeah.
Because the fire energy that I absorb is used through a melee attack.
Yeah.
So I'll take the quarterstaff that's otherwise a walking stick, and I'll hit him with 2 hands with it.
Okay.
So it'll be 14 to hit.
That is a miss, unfortunately. Does it dissipate the elements that you stored, or does it keep until you hit successfully? You can find that out. Let me know. Snow, you're up. Plunk, you're on deck.
The first time you hit with a melee attack. Oh, on your next turn. So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's gone.
But you didn't hit though. You missed.
No. Yeah, so it's just gone.
But didn't it say the first time you hit, or the first time you attack?
Yeah, it says on your next turn. The first time you hit on your next turn. So I feel like it's on my next turn. Of my first hits, because I could make 2 melee attacks maybe depending on my character, so it'll be on the first one.
Okay. All right. Snow, you're up. Plunk, you're on deck.
All right. So I'm manifesting an echo in the air in front of them. So as it's dropping, it's going to slice down on the one that the last echo was attacking.
Okay. Nice.
All right. So the first is a nat 20.
That's a hit.
And it does 14 points of damage.
Okay.
With that hit. Yeah. And the second is a 19 to hit.
Yep, both hits.
And 6 points of damage on that one.
So 19 points to the first one. And sorry, how many did the second one?
Sorry, there's 14 from the first one and then 6 from the second one. So total of 20 points of damage.
Okay, as your echo begins to slice through the first one, it goes directly from basically the shoulder, the clavicle, all the way through the waist, and it just turns into swirling sand and falls to the ground.
Okay.
No clothing, everything just turns into sand and dissipates.
Okay, so I just hear that happen.
Yeah.
But so that was with the first attack that happened. Would he be able to use the second attack against the other guy then?
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Although you do hear the distinct sound of something clink and bounce on the ground after the attack happens.
All right.
Okay. Cool. Plunk, you're up. Gaziel, you're on deck.
Cool. So I'm going to now cast Dissonant Whispers at the 3rd level.
Okay.
And so I with my full voice, I'll just kind of draw his face towards me. I know he's at a distance, but I'm going to pretend to draw his face towards me, and I'll say, "Back streets, back, all right," and then cast Dissonant Whispers, which will end up being 5d6. That is 18 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Does it have to take a saving throw?
Good question.
Yeah, probably does.
Wisdom 15. Yes. Sorry.
Wisdom?
Yeah, wisdom 15.
Passed.
No!
Does it take half?
It takes... A deafened creature automatically succeeds on the save half as much damage.
Okay, so how much is that?
That would be 9 points of damage.
Okay. Got it. All right, Gaziel, you're up. Both are on deck.
All right. So since my moonbeam is up to a minute of concentration and I can move it after every turn, I'm going to keep it on the same character, and he has to pass a constitution of 15 again, I think, right?
It passes.
Die. He passes?
Yeah. Half damage?
Okay, so he gets half damage, yeah.
Okay.
So that is a 7.
7, okay. And the moonbeam, though, continues. Do you have to take your action to continue it? Or can you move it?
Does
it say you can move it as a...
It says I can, on each one of your turns, you can use an action to move the beam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but, well, you cast it while it was close to you, so you don't actually have to action. It just takes that damage at the beginning of its turn because it's still in that space.
Oh, okay.
So you can attack as normal.
So I don't have to use an action to move it.
No, so you can.
Oh,
you can
okay.
get an
So
action.
I'll just use my warhammer to attack.
Okay.
Because that's in my hands.
Yep.
And that is a 9.
That is a miss.
Okay.
Bolt, you're up. Cyra, you're on deck.
Okay. I'm gonna go look at the one who just slashed me with his heated dagger, and I'll say, "So it's heat you like, is it?" And I'm gonna cast bonfire right where he's standing.
All right.
Yes.
To make a Dex 16 save.
Fails.
He fails? Ooh, that's such a shame. He'll take 7 fire damage.
Okay. Okay. Cyra, you're up. I think you're muted.
I am muted. I look defiantly at my father's minions, and with a gesture of my hand, command my my shadow spawn to attack the nearest person within their range.
Okay. Which is just right in front beside the echo.
And so they will use Chilling Rend. So I'll have to, let me roll for that. That is a 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
And they will take 11 points of cold damage.
Ooh. All right. And as you see, like, as the creature kind of slashes through it, you see that the sand almost turns to ice crystals and kind of falls off of the creature, leaving a gaping sort of space. Okay, back to them. That one in front of you, Bacalhau, is going to attack. That is a 19. And that one is a 20.
What are you doing over there?
Sorry. That's not good.
I reject this reality, and I'm going to use Chronal Shift to make him hit me again.
Okay. All right. So as it comes through, it hits you twice. As typical, you turn back the sands of time. So they have to re-roll. The first one is a 24.
That's worse. Okay.
The second one is only a 14.
Oh,
Okay.
Jason, I also get an attack by myself because the shadow spawn has a separate attack.
Oh, does it? Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, chat, for reminding me because I did read that and I forgot it.
So you only take 4 slashing damage and 11 fire damage.
That's terrible. It's still terrible, Julian.
I rolled really well on the damage. It would have
Good
been double
job.
that at least.
Way to go.
Sorry. Okay, Cyra, back to you.
I forgot the shadow spawn goes after I do.
Okay.
So I will hit if there's anybody directly in front of me, or it doesn't matter.
The echo's here. You're here. Echo's here. So there's one across here, and there's one with Plunk.
I'll hit the one towards Plunk with an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
2 of them.
Okay.
So the first one is an 18 to hit.
That's a hit.
And that's only 6 points of damage. But the second one, hopefully will hit for more. That's a 17 to hit on that.
That's a hit.
And that's 12 points for that one.
Okay.
Sorry guys, this is all new
Sorry, is that 7?
stuff to me. Was that I can't even remember what I just said right now. Oh my god. Was it 7? Chat, tell me what I just did.
Sorry.
I'll just
Chronal Shift.
Yeah, no.
Jay will somebody chest is 6 and 12. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Because I can't remember. I'm just
Got it.
I can't believe it.
All
Okay.
right. And you blast like chunks out of this thing, as massive kind of missing areas where your Eldritch Blast hit exist. All right. The first one is going to attack you. It attacked you already, Bacalhau. That's fine. The next one, right in front of you, Bolt. The creature leans back and then pushes its hands directly in front of it. I need Bolt, Bacalhau, Snow, Cyra, and Plunk to all make strength saving throws, please.
Oh no.
18.
Okay.
17.
10.
2.
Sorry, what was yours, Bacalhau?
5.
Okay, and Plunk?
2.
Okay, so you guys, all of a sudden this massive gust of sand and wind are blown in your direction, and you guys are blown 15 feet back.
I'm alone.
Away from that creature. And... yeah, that's it. Okay? And the bonfire is blown out as well.
No.
It's not fed. It's not fed
That
by
was
the wind.
personal.
That's where we draw the line.
The one in front of you, Gaziel, is going to attack. And Gaziel, this gust of wind, right beside you, you see a Nil kind of hunker down, and she withstands it, but it's too far from you to affect you. And both of the slashes from the one in front of you miss.
Nice.
Bacalhau, now you are in front of the other one that you have blown in front of.
Yeah, I see where this is going.
19 hits, right? You're lucky.
Yeah.
That's only 7 points of damage altogether that you take.
You gonna die.
Whose team are you on?
You're going to
I just thought I'd just talk about the.
and the
here.
one in front of your shadow spawn is going to attack. The first one is a hit, Cyra, and it is going to take 6 points of slashing damage and 6 points of fire damage.
I'm sorry, what was that total?
12. All said.
Gotcha.
Bacalhau, you're up. Snow, you're on deck.
Yeah, this is going great. I'll say over my shoulder, you know, if you're not going to fight, you might want to just go inside of your shell. And I'm going to cast Witch Bolt on the guy in front of me, my new dance partner. Actually, you know, I was thinking, since they're made of dirt, can we just prestidigitate them away?
Nice try.
Can I just prestidigitate away an arm made of dirt?
It's not dirt, it's sand. It's different.
All right.
You,
Okay, I'll go with Witch Bolt then.
Okay. The one in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
18 to hit. That's good. It's 3d12, so it's going to be 21 damage.
Ooh. And you blast a massive swath of sand off basically its top torso, and one of its arms is gone and half of its chest is gone. And it like teeters.
Excellent.
And it's really odd when these take damage, no sound except for the explosion of sand is heard. Snow, you're up. Plunk, you're on deck.
All right, my echo's going to attack 3 times. It's a 22, a 14, and a 13 to hit.
The 22 hits.
All right, that's a total of 8 points of damage.
Okay. All right. Plunk, you're up. Gaziel, you're on deck.
I'm going to take, I'm going to do another Distant Whispers, but I'm going to do a bonus action for Bardic Inspiration at the end. So just keep that in mind. And here we go. Wisdom, again, 15. Save.
And which one are you targeting?
The one that's closest to me, the one that Cyra attacked. Did she dissipate that one already?
No. Bacalhau is now in front of it because you've been pushed back 15 feet.
Oh, I thought I was moved to the side, beside the sand. It looks like I'm beside.
No, so you went this way. You're over here now. And this is the one that you were attacking.
Okay, can I reach him?
Sorry, what's the saving throw?
15. Wisdom saving throw.
It's a pass.
Ooh, okay. So as a bonus action, I'll give Bacalhau some inspiration.
Okay. Does it still take half damage, Joel?
Yes, half damage. Sorry. So that would be 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay, and having been pushed back, I'll pull out my lute real quick and sing. You with the sand eyes. Encouraged, you should realize you shouldn't take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the dark sand inside you can make you feel so small. But I see, wait for it.
I'm waiting.
Your silica, yeah, I see your silica, and that's why I'll kill you. So don't be ashamed when you fall down. Your silica, your silica on the ground.
Wow.
I was with you for 70% of that.
All right.
Oh, wow.
And as you casted your Dissonant Whispers, Bacalhau, right in front of you, the creature grabs its head, and its hands start to almost like go into its head as sand begins to pour from its head. It is on its last legs.
Yes.
Gaziel, you're up. Bolt your on deck.
You have an extra 1d8,
Okay.
by the way.
1d8?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the bardic inspiration, yeah.
So I'm gonna assume it's still in the same spot, and the moonbeam is still on it.
Yep.
So that's so he needs to pass 15.
Yep. Failed.
Okay, so he did pass.
No, failed.
Oh, he failed. Okay,
Yep.
so that he's gonna get a total of 12 damage.
Okay.
And on top of that, I'm going to use Divine Smite with my thunder, with my what's it called?
Your Warhammer?
My Warhammer.
Yeah.
I'm going to use Divine Smite with my Warhammer, and I'm going to use a spell slot, and it deals an extra 2d8 damage if I roll. And
Okay,
I
so
don't
attack.
So it's... Oh, never mind. I got
That
a
is
3.
Yeah. Okay, it's a miss, unfortunately. You swing wide with your Warhammer.
So ready.
Bolt, you're up.
Okay. Just from the last time I hit it with bonfire, was I able to tell if it took the full damage?
Yes,
of
it did.
It did? Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to look at it and say, nobody blows out my bonfires. And I'm going to point my ring right at it and cast Chromatic Orb and make it fire damage.
Okay.
So it will be 3d8 and I guess I should say it this is the one that has fairy fire on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then it'll be a natural 20 to hit, and with natural 20s with multiple damage die, how do you calculate that?
You would get. It would take. It's dead. It would take the full. It would take one full for each damage die, and then you would roll a second for it. So how many die does it get?
3d8.
Yeah. So you get. Yeah.
So 24.
24 plus
14.
Yeah.
So 38 fire damage.
Okay. It just melts into a heap of sand.
And I repeat myself under my breath quietly. Nobody blows out my bonfires.
Very good. Cyra, you're up.
I'm very curious, as to.
Sorry, 1 sec. When you do that, Bolt, you see what appears to be a bracelet fall basically almost from the air where its chest was, and it falls onto the top of the pile of sand that now exists and is just cascading. Like a gold bracelet with a turquoise in it.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Do with that what you like.
I guess like picking something up is still an action, right? I can't quite do that yet, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna say after you've shot it and it's fallen, I'm gonna we're gonna say that to inspect it or to pick it up and to look at it would be an action. Or
okay.
Yeah. What happened in your next turn? Okay, Cyra, you're up.
Well, I'm very curious as to if people that embodiment or embody the characteristics of sand turn to glass if you hit them with lightning. So I'm gonna hit the nearest person with a witch bolt.
All right.
It's a witch bolt party over here.
Yeah. That is a 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
And let's see how much. Yeah, because I'm not gonna roll dice for this. D&D Beyond is gonna have to do it for me. 18 points of lightning damage.
As the lightning hits, the creature starts to kind of convulse and freeze as it turns parts of it to glass and then shatters in front of you.
Okay.
And it was in front of your shadow spawn and in front of Snow's echo. And you see what looks like a decorative hairpin that falls onto the top of the sand pile and
Is
you
it
realize
close
that
enough?
it's yours.
That jerk stole my stuff. Is it close enough to with a bonus action I could pick it up,
It's
or
5
does it
feet
need
away.
to be in like a next? I would like to pick it up.
Okay. I told Bolt he couldn't, but I'll let you move to it
Okay.
because you have movement.
I will do so, and I'll pick this up
All right.
to retrieve what belongs to me.
All right.
And then I guess my shadow spawn will attack
Yeah.
the nearest person.
What's your movement on your shadow spawn? Doesn't matter.
The movement
it can get to the one in front of
is
Bacalhau.
40 feet.
Yeah.
40 feet.
It can get to the one in front of Bacalhau.
Yes, so it will attack with Chilling Rend again, and that
Okay.
will be 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
And that will, that's only 6 points because I didn't roll very well. 6 points of cold damage.
It dissipates into a pile of sand as well. And an object falls out of it as well, and your shadow spawn realizes it looks like a ring.
Is this just, are they all just dropping things that belong to me?
All the stuff that flew out of your Vardo.
Oh, deep.
There it is.
Wrong streams.
Oh, the pain.
Wrong
the
stream.
It
pain
landed
and
in
the
a different
agony.
realm altogether.
Too soon.
With that, the last two that exist dissipate into piles of sand as well beside you. And the sandstorm, not snowstorm, that's a different thing, as well, that encircles you, begins to calm and then floats off into nothingness.
As I'm looking for the other things in the piles of sand, I'll just say out loud, why do they all have things that belong to me? As I search for what possibly might still be remaining.
Yeah,
there.
they're all your belongings. Things that you did not bring with you that were left in your home when you left quickly.
I'm gonna pick up the bracelet, and can I just inspect to see if there's anything magical about it that would have caused it to make the Sandman?
Yeah, give me an investigation check, or actually, give it an Arcana check.
Okay. 15.
Okay. With a 15, you notice a trace, kind of twinkle or energy that kind of circles it and then dissipates. So there was something about it, but now it seems mundane.
Do I have the sense that they used my belongings to trace me?
Yes. In talking to Bolt and kind of understanding everything that happens, it feels like they use this as the center of their ability to trace you and find you.
Well, I guess I owe you all an apology and an explanation.
Maybe just shop at a different store next time.
My father used my belongings to track me.
Very sweet.
No,
No.
not sweet. Do I sense that we're safe now? Do we have like a moment?
Yeah, it's eerily calm in the gorge.
I suppose I should explain that I was the heir to my father's kingdom. And my mother and father wanted me to marry someone that I didn't love for political reasons. In order to fulfill my duties. But before all that happened, I met someone, and I realized that I had never lived my own life. And I had never made decisions for myself. And I just couldn't allow myself to do what everyone else had expected of me. Again. Especially since it had to do with spending my life, the rest of my life with someone. Right before I was supposed to be wed to this person, I met this amazing woman who was magical and so intelligent and brilliant and charismatic and beautiful, and she had everything that I had hoped to have for myself one day. And she made me a promise that if I was true to her, that she would get me out of there. And I pledged my life to her with this ring. And I hold my ring out. And it's the one that Plunk had seen before. And I love her. And I can't imagine a life being wed to somebody who I don't love and living a life that isn't true to myself. And so I left. And I knew that he would come after me, but I didn't realize it would be so soon, and I didn't expect the ramifications of putting you all in danger, and I'm so sorry.
You have no need to apologize to us. We've put you in danger as well.
I know that this is where I belong, and this is where I'm supposed to be, and I've made my decisions. And I'm happy that I've made them myself. So anything that happens to us and any place that we should find ourselves, I know, good or bad, that I made that choice and I will fight alongside you. But I'm so sorry for putting you in this, because this was not anything that you deserved.
Well, now we all have something in common. We are all wanted. And we'll protect each other.
The tenderness of Cyra's words is contrasted by the shadowy, fiery creature that stands behind her, its eyes blazing.
Still there.
A strong female character looming just at her shoulder.
And I look over to it, knowing that it was magic that I had summoned, and knowing that it was in the likeness of somebody who I wish was by my side but isn't. And so I cast her away.
And it's
sadly.
Gone. You feel Yanil's hand on your shoulder, Bacalhau, and healing energy fills your body, and you get 8 points of healing back.
You were saying that those sand goons were sent by your family?
Yes.
The girl was to return you back to your land?
I'm certain that that's what the goal was. I'm the rightful heir, although my younger brother is there to fulfill that, but...
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Plunkrawk, what was it you said before we started battling just now?
I I move sheepishly to Cyra's side, and I'm like,
It sounded like it came from you, but I didn't recognize the voice. But you do impressions, but what was it you said?
And with my mind link, I will say to Plunk, because I heard it too. I'm like, they heard you.
Okay. So I'll pull off my tunic, and I'll be
Your hood or your whole tunic?
like my no, I'm sorry. I stayed dressed as opposed to.
This is me, guys.
Let's just not make this a pants-free party quite yet. I pulled down my hood on my tunic, and I'll turn to everyone and say, well, I suppose now's not a great time to share this, but I have been lying to you this whole time as well. Although, not as well, primarily just me lying to you. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I've been lying all this time.
You haven't been, this is, who, what? The voice right now, is this, whose voice is this your voice?
That's his voice.
Bolt, this is how I've always sounded, and let me quickly explain. I'll just snap my fingers, Jay, and for a moment, again, long enough that everyone can perceive that it's real, I'll shapeshift into my original changeling self. And I am a white, human-looking, but very white, like not quite pure-driven snow, but think like when Brandon has too much light on him, that kind of white. And
Pretty white.
and my eyes have no pupils; they're pure white, and I look like an albino, basically. And then within 5 to 8 seconds, I change back into my Kancko self, and then I explain, I've been in hiding, and surely, if I get caught, we will. I am actually putting you all in danger as well. But I'm carrying a very important message, and I must get to the gate as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we face many more dangers than you actually know about.
Okay, so I'll lean over to Bacalhau and I'll say, everyone sounds very surprised. What did he do?
One moment, Snow. I want to walk over to Plunkrawk, and I'll examine him for a moment before swiftly striking him with the quarterstaff on the head to see if it's an illusion. Not too hard.
You're gonna knock me in the back of the head?
On the top, just a little.
Just a little knock?
Just to examine the illusion.
No.
Do I know?
The Kancko is real.
Yep.
Corporal. It bounces. A couple feathers fall off. You take a point of damage, Plunk.
What?
I walk back over to Snow, like keeping one eye kind of on Plunk. I'll say, it appears as if he's a changeling? Is that what you said?
What?
Sorry. I think it's a secret. A changeling.
Changeling?
That's what it is, right? That's what he is?
That's what he said he was, yeah.
He,
Did you say that? Sorry.
Return?
Did you say yeah.
I didn't actually say that. Yep.
Okay, so I would have heard that then.
Yeah, but he actually showed us. And that's why I don't trust anybody, you see.
Yes, I'm beginning to understand. And perhaps maybe I'll have to follow you in your ways.
No, I did examine him with a strike to his head, and he does appear to be, as he says.
Was there an echo?
Inside, yes, a little bit.
Okay.
You know what? The more I think about it, the more it makes total sense. I mean, all of his songs were completely fluent. Why didn't we put it together?
I don't know.
I just thought he was very talented.
I know this must be a lot for everybody to process right now, but I would like to remind you that Plunk's actions have spoken to his loyalty. And so we all have our reasons for hiding why we've left or why we're here, but as have I. But Plunk, I know that you have the best of intentions. And so whatever secret that you have and whatever mission that you're on, I'll help you because you've helped me.
I quite appreciate the vote of confidence, and I know for the rest of you that I'll have to rebuild the trust that I've broken. But I do want to say I've quite appreciated your protection all of this time, and without you, my message dies. So I'll do what it takes to rebuild. Know this, if anyone finds out. You're putting both me and yourselves in danger, and I'd really prefer you all be safe.
Well, I think at this point we're all stuck together, right? I mean, all our faces are part of the Seditious Six.
When I saw your faces on that poster, I didn't run, and I'm not going to run now.
Well, Plunk, you'll forgive me if I keep an eye on you. I'm not sure which is the real you, and I'll have to, for my own safety, be careful. I hope you understand. It's not personal.
I do understand, and had the circumstances been different, my friend, I certainly wouldn't have hidden anything from you, but I understand. Such is life. We are adventurers, and some of us have baggage. Some of us carry our baggage right with us all the time in exchange for pants.
You're saying you'd like some pants?
No, I'm saying it's why you don't need pants. Ha! I get to actually have conversations. Do you know what that means to me?
I'm afraid so.
I'm so... and I forgot to tell you, my name is actually not Plunk. Not that that helps you trust me more, but let me introduce myself. My name's actually Gab. So, good to meet you all.
Gab.
Right, I mean, silly, right? I've got the gift of Gab. It'll be great. I'm so excited to finally...
Plunk, Gab, as somebody who's held a lot inside themselves and never lived their life on the outside as they did on the inside, I know what that's like, and I'm just happy that you trust us enough to be yourself around us.
I honestly will not make it through without you.
I was curious. Did you say something about at the beginning of battle? That's my sister, or something about a sister?
Well, I said that because I had the opportunity to talk to Cyra yesterday, or a few days ago, 8 or so days ago, and I was able to share with her about this particular secret that I'm sharing with you now, and immediately felt welcomed, and I didn't want to lose that in this battle. She was the only one who knew about me, so I wasn't willing to let go very easily.
And I'm sorry that I kept that from you all, but I felt it that it was his choice and his right to tell you all when he was ready.
I appreciate the honesty. And I, for one, I have known the way you have fought alongside us. To me, we are brothers in arms. And it would take much more than this to break my trust in you. So you should know that there is nothing to forgive, not from me.
I was hoping you'd say as much, Snow, seeing as you haven't really been able to perceive the changes I'm talking about anyway, if I'm honest.
It's just nice to hear your voice with my ears and not inside of my head.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
I am ready to make a pact with you all that I will stand beside you, no matter what we face from this day forward. But that we all need to trust each other and be open with each other and truthful moving forward. And I extend a hand out.
I'll do the same, but cautiously remind everyone, I do need to deliver this message. So, and
I will make sure that you will, I'll do whatever I can to make sure that you deliver it.
then I also put my hand forward in this pact and assure and promise to all of you in the now very famous Seditious Six, which, by the way, those posters, you all look great. I'm still hiding. But I will say, yes, let's make this official. Are we the Seditious Six or not? Hands in!
Hands in.
I'll put my hand in. I'm in.
Who are we making this pact with? Plunk?
With each
Or
other.
Gab?
With each other.
Is it Plunk or Gab that's
All
making this pact?
I put my hand on top of Cyra's hand and I say, back, I assure you, as Gab, I will be honest with you, as in so much as I can deliver this message. I will not be untruthful, but I do want to do this in the most serious way possible. So yes, please put your hand in and join the adventure.
Yes. From what I could tell, Gab and Plunkrawk are the same person. We're not the Seditious Seven.
I'm so skeptical. DM, should I just decide if I trust him? Can I roll to see? I mean, like,
you can give me.
Here's the thing. This is a Kancko who has used kind of weak illusions for the last as long as I've known him, and he could have just turned into whatever he wanted at any point. He's wanted, and his face is on every single poster. He could have just turned into a different anything at any point.
Give me an insight check. and Joel, give me a persuasion check.
Yeah.
I have a +7. I rolled a 2 +7.
So 9?
So 9.
And so I win because my persuasion is a +10.
Unless you roll a -2.
Rolled a 28.
I'll put my hand in at the top, but I'm just kind of keeping an eye on Gab from here on in.
No more secrets. We're here for each other.
No more secrets.
No more secrets.
Yanil places her hand in the middle. Says, "No more secrets."
No more secrets.
No more secrets.
And with that, you all gather your things and head towards the Wuyun Gate. And that is where we're going to end the season. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's been a great season. It's been a lot of fun. We will be back to Wildemount in 3 months' time. But in the meantime, the next season of Into the Mist starts March 15th. Leading up to that point, the character guide for the Discord will be released tomorrow ahead of Behind the Screen, and I will run you through it at that time. We're going to do the draw right now for the Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. That is a pre-order code, so you can put it in, and it'll basically make it so that you get the pre-order. It's pre-order, so you get it when it's released. So we'll do that draw. I'll just wait on that. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen, consider following us on Twitch, but also, and more importantly, because we're moving to YouTube for live stuff, subscribing and then hitting that little bell icon to be notified every time that we go live. I want to thank the cast for an incredible cast. I want to thank Christina, obviously, for coming with us again on this awesome journey. We will see the rest of the crew in a week. So next Monday, we do not have a show. It is, basically 2 weeks until that time comes. Next Monday, we're going to open up all of the channels, though, for the Discord, for us all to be involved and start that whole Vistani process. The winner is Pirate Knight 1. You've won a pre-ordered copy of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Thank you, everyone. Take care of each other. We have apparently fixed all of our technical issues. This is a session of no craziness with my camera and all of that stuff. We've made it. It took us a season to get there, but we are there, and we're excited to get into the Mist. You guys have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow for Behind the Screen. We'll see you Thursday for Players Table, and then we'll see you for the premiere of Into the Mist on March 15th. Make sure that you join the Discord in order to be entered into the giveaway for the legendary Curse of Strahd edition from Beetle and Grimm. You guys have a great night. Bye.